Hi guys, Nick here, California Tiny House. Thank you so much for joining us. First question, can everybody hear me? I'm gonna wait for my brother Scott, who's right there, to tell me.
Remember, questions are going to be delayed by just a little bit.
Questions
By like 20 seconds.
There's a delay, guys, so I won't know what's happening until after the delay. Well, while we wait, welcome guys. My name is Nick Mosley from California Tiny House. We're here in Fresno, California. It's already super duper hot outside, so you see me sweating. That's why. I'm inside now, but I'm going in and out all day. So. Can they hear us?
Yeah, they can hear you.
Yes, they can hear me. Great.
Check just really quick. If just tell them if the sound cuts out or if the video cuts out, just let us know. We'll try to make sure it gets back up.
Okay. My brother just informed me to let all of you know that if sound or video cuts out at any time, please let us know right away. There is a delay between you guys and us, so the sooner you can tell us, the better, and we'll get it fixed.
How hot is it outside right now? What'd you say?
It is, I don't know, 90 something, 92 maybe. But whatever temperature it is outside, because we are in a manufacturing warehouse, it's usually like 5 to 10 degrees warmer, because it's kind of like a little oven in here. I mean, now currently I'm in an office and I turn the air on, but I'm still pretty hot, so it'll be worse when I do the tours, but it'll be fun. So do you guys have some questions before we get started, and or you guys want me to give you a backstory on California Tiny House as a whole? I don't know how many of you already know who we are, or if there's any new California Tiny House fans or people out there. I can give you kind of our backstory. You want to say something, Scott?
Well, I don't want to say anything after this because they're saying they can obviously hear me as well.
Oh, good.
We don't want to repeat ourselves too many times. But this hopefully will be the last time I will use sign language.
All right, we're going to commute with Navy SEAL signs from here on out, I guess. Sorry, we're both in the same room. So I don't have to sit and read a screen and read questions. Sorry guys, I'm moving my mic. I can't see what I'm doing. How's that? Better?
Our tiny house is only in California.
Oh, our tiny house is only in California. Great question. I don't know who it came from because I can't see the screen. But no, tiny houses are actually all over the world. There's companies in Peru, England, Germany, New Zealand, Australia, Alaska, which is the United States, and then the continental United States and Hawaii. So yeah, they're all over the place. The tiny house movement is all about simplifying your life and not being burdened by spending 2/3 of your paycheck just for rent or mortgage. And so it's not just a California thing. It's not just a United States thing. It's worldwide.
Backstory.
All right, I'll do a quick backstory on California Tiny House because we do not represent all the tiny house companies in the world, just ourselves. California Tiny House was founded in 2014. I actually approached my father, Pat, with the idea in late 2013 and stated that I wanted to build one. It was originally just a fun project my dad and I did after work. My dad was a custom home builder here in the Central Valley of California, probably almost 40 years ago now. And then he and I were remodeling contractors, prior to starting in 2014. And so we kind of learned to all the trades. My dad taught me, and I've got 5 brothers. So he taught us all how to do, all the different trades, from roofing to plumbing to electrical and framing. So we got really well rounded. And then in 2014, my dad and I started building our first house. It was interesting that not a lot of people knew what a tiny house was. When I told them, what we were doing, they thought we were building doll houses or dog houses. And only until about 2015, late 2015, did people start getting awareness. And I think that's when the television shows started coming out. But yeah, it was interesting. We built the first house. I tried to sell it, and it just kept falling through, or there wasn't enough awareness out there for buyers, and it was disheartening. But instead of folding up shop and quitting, we started building a second house, and that's in early 2015 is when we did our first open house, and I think we ended up selling 3 or 4 that day, and that's when we quit our jobs as remodeling contractors and started California Tiny House full time. And then since then we've expanded, and now we have a big crew and a big warehouse.
You good? You're going. It cut you for a second. They want to know about where to park them in San Diego, but also what to do if places haven't accepted Appendix Q yet.
Okay, where to park them? I'll probably get more into this later. And then there was another question about what to do if municipalities haven't accepted Appendix Q yet. Keep in mind, well, let me just quickly talk about what Appendix Q is. Appendix Q is an appendices off of the IRC, or International Residential Code. Now, with that being said, technically it does not apply to anything that's on wheels. So the movable tiny houses that you see out across the world on Instagram, on YouTube, that are being pulled around by like a pickup truck, those technically are not built to that building code. IRC, or International Residential Code, with Appendix Q applies to structures that are built on site. So how to go about getting a municipality to pass an ordinance like that? The best thing to do would probably be to reach out to the Tiny House Industry Association, or THIA, Tiny Home Industry Association. But also, you're going to have to do some legwork with your local municipality and explain to them why you want it. Like, for example, the state of California now, in every county and city, adopted the 2018 IRC building codes with Appendix Q. So anywhere in this state, we can actually do off-wheel builds and have them meet the same building standards, kind of, I guess, that we do in the movable or tiny homes on chassis. Oh, and then San Diego. Somebody mentioned that. Where can you park one in San Diego? San Diego is maybe a month away or less to adopting an ordinance that allows the movable kind to be used as an accessory dwelling unit. That means that anywhere in San Diego proper, you can actually put a movable tiny house in your backyard, hook it up to the main house. You could rent it, you could live in it, you could occupy both, you could rent both even. So it's a really cool opportunity for not only more tiny home placement spots in that area, but investment opportunities for people that want to add one in their backyard and then rent it to a tiny home enthusiast.
So everybody, I just switched the audio over, so hopefully it sounds better. There might be a delay for a little bit.
Scott's saying
they can hear me.
Oh. Well, then I don't need to repeat it, do I?
So yeah, once it switches over, everybody let me know if you can hear better.
Were they having a hard time hearing?
Yeah, I think it was picking up the wrong audio input, but I think we got it. Okay, sorry about that, guys.
Sorry. Apologies.
This is our first live anything, and we've got a lot of moving parts.
It is our first live anything. Well, except for like phones and stuff.
Yeah,
But that doesn't really
I think I'm
count.
going to inception an Instagram live right now, too, in just a minute.
Okay. Well, what else we got? Because I can't see a screen, Scott. You
Let's
gotta
see.
keep going.
All right, so we're almost at our. Once we get about 10 more people in, we'll start. We'll get ready for the first outdoor tour. But before that, we'll do a little thing that we actually shot a couple weeks ago, right before everything got shut down. We shot one of our tiny house tours. If you guys on YouTube might be familiar, and we'll show
Tiny
you this minute.
tours.
Actually, before we get to that, there's a bunch of questions about downstairs bedrooms. A lot of questions about downstairs bedrooms, and
I love downstairs bedrooms.
maybe tiny houses that are more effective for older people.
Got it. So there's a lot of questions about downstairs bedrooms coming through the feed. I can't actually read them, so I don't know exactly specifically what they're asking. But I get questions about this all the time. Are downstairs bedrooms possible? Are there designs that have them? Absolutely. Prior to 2020, California Tiny House, my brothers and my father, we did 100% custom homes, which means that we tailored each and every house to each and every specific client. And every client's different. They all have their specific needs. We've had, clients from 17 years old that are building a house so that they can live somewhere during, their stay at college. And then all the way to 93-year-old, retirees that are still in decent health and want to live closer to their, son, daughter, grandparents, or grandkids, whoever. Downstairs bedrooms are absolutely possible. If anyone says otherwise, then, find another builder. But we actually have a complete series now launching 2020 called our Studio Series, and every single design is a downstairs bedroom only. So, and then, our galleries have downstairs bedrooms and lofts.
Somebody's asking a lot about sprinkler systems. Is that something that's available or required?
Sprinkler systems in tiny houses. That is an excellent question because not a lot of people ask it. So, sprinkler systems are not required in movable tiny homes or the ones that you see on chassis. There's not enough storage for water or fire retardant. And if it did ever get passed in a federal ordinance or something, it would have to apply to all travel trailers, all park model RVs, and every motorhome nationwide. I don't see that happening anytime soon. However, on the IRC side or for a foundation built tiny home, sprinklers would be required if especially in the ADU sense, putting one in your backyard accessory dwelling unit. If the front house has sprinklers, the tiny house in the back would also have to have sprinklers. So hopefully that answered it. And then if not, you can always, email us and stuff, and I can get more in depth.
Okay, and then we're gonna.
Same applies for those of you in California. New building code states that we have to put solar on all the houses, all the units that are built on foundation. This once again does not apply to movable structure.
In 7 minutes, we're gonna do the first tour, not the live one, but the first tiny tour. So 7 minutes.
7 minutes, guys. We're doing something. I just do whatever he tells me. I just go out there and do whatever. So I guess we're doing a tiny tour. The one in the shop or the one that we filmed?
The one that we filmed a couple weeks ago. You can tell me about the house a little bit. Very briefly.
Which one?
The one with the big door. No details, just...
Oh, yeah.
Maybe
Yeah, so you guys, in 6 minutes or 30 seconds or whatever, we're going to show you a tiny house tour that we did a couple weeks ago. So this one's pre-recorded. And it's really unique house. It's 36 feet, 35 feet.
35 total with the Gooseneck.
Yeah, so it's a gooseneck tiny house build. A gooseneck trailer has the hitch connection that actually comes up instead of just your standard one that pulls like from a bumper. It actually comes up over the truck bed and then back down, so that that ball hitch sits directly over the rear axle of a pickup truck. And what's cool about goosenecks is that they're extremely safe to pull, much safer, and at least in my opinion, than a standard bumper pull. So if you're traveling a lot, gooseneck's a really great option. Two, it lets a smaller truck pull a heavier house. I don't have any props here, but when you have a pickup truck and this is the back, and you have a tiny house with a bumper pull, when you get a lot of weight on the tongue, it tends to tip. You know, have you ever seen a truck driving around where it looks like, you know, the front's gonna pop off the ground? It's because they have too much weight on the back. So what's cool about a gooseneck is it comes up and over and ties into the truck's rear axle, or it doesn't tie into it. It sits on a ball hitch right above it. And so the axle can carry a lot more weight than, let's say, the bumper of the truck. So it allows a smaller truck to carry a heavier house. Oh, I forgot what I was even talking about. Yeah, anyways, check out the tour. It's really cool.
We're gonna run it right on the stream in 4 minutes.
Got it.
So
I went on a
we have
tangent.
a lot of questions about solar. If we install them, what about them?
Solar on tiny houses. Do we install them? Yes. Do a lot of people get solar? No. There's two different ways to do solar. Well, there's a million ways to do it, but there's two main ways on like a movable tiny home. One, you can incorporate panels onto the roof and a battery system, whether it's an LG, a Tesla. We prefer Tesla because it's got the biggest storage for the best price. There's a million other companies now starting out. Most of them are lithium batteries, and so that you can store more power on your actual house, which is crucial. You know, in a movable setting, you have to be able to drive away with it. You can't have a battery bank of 60 deep cell batteries. It would fill your entire house up and weigh it down. Excuse me.
Alameda.
So you have to have a lot of battery storage when you do that, or you have to swap to a more condensed battery system like a LG or a Tesla, and then there's a bunch of other ones that I don't know the names of. It's entirely possible. It's really common for people who live way out in the sticks, out in the desert, in the mountains, and bringing PG&E or some type of power company in, is just an astronomical price. So I think we had a client kind of up on top of a mountain, and PG&E was going to charge him, $280,000 to get power to his site because they had to helicopter in, 10 power poles or something. So the cost of solar, which was about $21,000 for his house, made more sense, anyways, financially. But for most tiny houses, they have an option or can get an option to plug in. It makes more sense because of the savings, just to plug them in. Unless you have to. But we can talk more about solar too. I'll answer probably a bunch of those questions today.
We have a random question from a Lily Dalhauser.
Oh yeah.
She's asking if we're going to tour what's actually in the warehouse right now.
So, Ms. Dalhauser, to answer your question, we are absolutely going to tour what's in the warehouse. I'm going to be doing it in phases throughout the day because it's brutally hot outside. So I'm going to go out, do a house, come back in, answer questions about that house, and go in there. So, Ms. Dalhauser,
We've got 4.
I will
4 houses.
absolutely show you the house that you're interested in.
Okay. And the last question I think that we'll take, and then we'll cut to the video in a minute, is did you already do the Alameda County?
Alameda County?
Yeah.
Oh, they want to know for placement?
Yeah.
Alameda County. Currently, I don't know if they have a working draft ordinance. You can always contact the Tiny Home Industry Association. They would know more. I don't believe they do have one. Now, there's a lot of counties in California, though, that are working on it. Since Santa Clara County just passed their ordinance, now we have a county ordinance that we can actually take to different counties throughout the state and show them a skeleton, I guess, of what a ordinance would look like. And then Humboldt County is working on it as well.
Last question, same question, Kern County, did you throw that in already?
Kern County would be the same. So Kern County, Fresno County, once Humboldt County, and now that Santa Clara County has already passed, we'll have a rural county and more of a metropolitan style to take to different counties throughout the state and other states. We've been the Tiny Home Industry Association, especially Dan Fitzpatrick. For those of you who don't know him, he's the tiny house ordinance guru for everything tiny house placement. He's working day and night to get as many states, cities, counties to get legal tiny house placement. So he's also lives down the street from us. So he and I in California have been very successful.
All right, me and you are gonna get set up for the live tour of the first house. While we do that, let's play the video that we pre-recorded.
Got it. We're gonna play a pre-recorded tiny house tour. Well, I'm still gonna tell him.
All right, tell him.
A tiny house tour while we get ready to go live out in the shop today. So enjoy. And I don't know when it stops facing me. Am I still on camera?
On audio.
Nick from California Tiny House here on another tiny house tour. Today we've got one of the coolest houses I think we've shown to date. What we're looking at today is a 10 by 28 plus 7. Yeah, it's another gooseneck. So the exterior of this house is cool. It's our board and bat, marine plywood with an accent of light gray metal. Now the best part about it is this center section right here overlooking these big windows and doors, where these are solid pieces that go all the way up and seamlessly go to the peak. Coming through the gooseneck section, still have the same board and bat, and then we've just got this little accent that we added here on the front. And we're going under. Follow me, guys. We've got our mini split on the front here. You can see that roof just kind of comes all the way from the peak and spills all the way down. So what's cool about this house, it's got 2 bedrooms, both of which have staircases. Both staircases have storage in them. It's got an awesome kitchen, custom vanity in the bathroom, tile shower, and the showstopper, besides just all the natural light pouring in through all these huge windows, is this 10-foot wide, bifold, trifold, movable glass wall. Call it what you want. When I open this thing up later, it's just amazing.
Let's open it up now.
Oh, well, I guess we could open it up now. 2 small handles. Let me give you guys kind of the vision of where this house is getting placed. So it sits up, kind of on a knoll, and this overlooks the rest of the property. So this has this, kind of theater style view almost. You're not gonna see this very often in a tiny house. One, these things are crazy heavy, require a lot of engineering to actually make them work. But man, when you get them right, it is sweet. into the bathroom. You know, it's a tiny house bathroom, of course, but is it tiny? No, not really. I mean, I'm 6.5 feet tall. I feel very comfortable in this space. Even for a guy my size, the shower's nice and big. You know, I can wash my hair. It's got the dual shower heads, which is cool. We always love doing that. And the one, you know, slides on the pole. Soap dispenser, valve instructions.
I mean, to turn on a faucet, it's like on and off, right?
Yeah, I'm not gonna open it because there's probably water in the lines, but. No, it's inner flush toilet, fan, window, lots of good space. I like this bathroom. It's nice. What we wanted in this house is we didn't want just your basic vanity with a solid wall. You know, with this bathroom door open, having a vanity that's got this open style with the vessel top sink even, and you know, the big tall faucet, you can see all through it, you know, through the door. And it's a really cool thing. Plus from the inside of the bathroom, it feels a little bit more open, not having something that's so big and bulky and solid. So yeah, that's why we love to do these style. And then staircase, storage, coming up. Come on, you can fit. Come up here with me. Coming up onto the landing of the secondary bedroom or primary bedroom, either way. There's a closet that we built. This actually is the end of the trailer. So this is all bonus space, I guess, if you want to consider it that. But any way we can pick up a little bit of extra storage works great. Then behind me here, you've got some hanging closet storage, and then a nice big loft bedroom for up to a queen size bed. What's cool about this loft is really on all 4 sides, it's very open. You've got the entire length of the house. And then right here where I'm at, you've got the space for the closet. So it all feels makes a smaller space feel kind of large. So the kitchen's really bright and open, all the natural light pouring in. There's these 2 pass-through windows for, you wanna set something outside, someone's gonna grab it, you're gonna set it up on the table. It was designed exactly for that reason. Space to eat, workspace, whatever you wanna do here. 6-foot table though, it's big. Oh, smushed the mic on my neck. Custom bar top, so all butcher block here. And then we have these steel legs specialty made. I mean, you can buy them, but we don't because we like to make stuff.
They go with the hand.
So the materials in the kitchen are very modern and sleek. You've got stainless steel and smooth top appliances, you know, very neutral tone granite and cabinets, white tile, but we bring in elements of wood to give it kind of a softer feeling and also to warm the whole space up. You know, having the natural light coming in helps with that as well. Raised elevated gooseneck bedroom, not loft, which could very well be your master. Or you could choose the regular loft bedroom, and this could be a nursery, it could be a kid's bedroom, an office, it could be whatever you want it to be. And what's neat is it actually shares the back wall of the kitchen, which had some building elements for ventilation and a bunch of stuff I won't get into. But up the stairs, more storage, drawers all the way down. The main bedroom or bonus room, the space that we're in now, guys, can fit a king size bed, Cal King, or smaller, so obviously queen or anything else. It's got good sized closet here. Oops. And yes, of course, these things open down here as well. nowhere inside the house do you ever feel like you're in an uncomfortable spot, and which is hard to do in a tiny house, guys. Design is everything. So, you know, having a space like this, it feels very comfortable, big and open and airy. It's difficult, but man, when it comes together, it's cool. I do love this house. Love the light coming through, the colors. Did you even look at this floor? Take a look at this floor if you haven't. Yeah, extra wide plank, 9 inches wide, I think. Nice big bar for eating, granite countertops, farmhouse sink. Obviously this door is just insane. This door is crazy, guys. I wish you were here to see how big this thing is. I mean, it's incredible. Coming to the back of the house, it's all additional. This is built onto the back of the trailer. It has the closet up here. Remember that closet next to the landing? That sits right there. And underneath, we use the space for outdoor garage space. Throw your tools in here. It's got lights.
Maybe hold this door and be like, oh, these doors cover it.
And it's got this door. Well, the door's heavy. Big door. I mean, look at the size of this door. That's a door. No house would be complete without the outdoor shower, all done in the same steel as the siding. We've got a few things to do here, guys. We're adding lights here as well, more plywood, and then we gotta put those big, heavy duty doors on. Stainless steel pan. Pretty cool. You can be out here, curtain or no curtain, to each his own. Showering it up. Thanks for watching this video. Please like and subscribe. Comment and other stuff too, please. Would you comment? Comments or not, likes or dislikes, we're gonna keep making videos because it's fun for us, and me and my brother get to hang out. But seriously, like it and subscribe it, please. It means everything. It does give us validation. This was a cool house though. I really hope, if you didn't like the video, I hope you at least like the house. You'll see more pictures of it on Instagram coming up here, or before this. Yeah, but yeah, thanks for watching, guys. We really do appreciate it. We really do. Tell you what, this door is like seriously cool though. It would be easier if there was a patio out here right now. No, it wasn't too strong. It was, it was strong. There's no argument there. Oh man, this is a cool house. This is like a cool house. I really like this one. So, first on our tour is a 10 by 16 tiny house. It's done in a Spanish style. So this is our fully flexible stucco. It feels and looks exactly like a regular stucco house. Stucco is not for everybody, but it's the only way that you can make a house, a tiny house anyways, look in the Spanish style. Another cool thing about this is not the back of the house. This is actually the tongue. And this is our design for a completely removable tongue. It slides in here when you want to haul it down the highway, and then you can disconnect it, take it off, skirt the house, or just freely walk around without bumping your shins into the tongue assembly. Anyways, it's really cool. So 10 wide, 16 long, full 13.6 height. There's no roof up there, which you guys probably can't see anyways, but the client's actually adding a terracotta roof to this and does not plan to move it after that, hence the removable tongue.
Also, how there's nothing going beyond 16 feet. Like it doesn't. There's no protrusions. There's no little utility storage things. It stops. Everything's was built within the context of the house.
Yeah. There's no utility bump outs. This entire house is contained in that 10 by 16 square foot, or excuse me, 10 by 16 square foot, 160 square foot platform.
Yeah.
So come on. Come to our temporary staircase here. So once again, you've got that same stucco finish going on all the way. Cool round door. We don't get to use these very often, but it definitely fits that Spanish style, so we are using one. And then this is going to be a mail slot. Not that it's accessible to the street, but the clients that are putting this in their backyard as an ADU thought it'd be really cool to be able to put the tenant's mail into their own mail slot. I think so too. Oh, another thing. You notice right now I'm standing on top of the wheel well. And we don't do this all on every house, but in certain designs it works really well. Now this trailer, I don't know if you notice it here, but I'll get down. It's pretty short. I mean, it's probably only 19 inches, 18 inches off the ground. And we use drop axles on certain designs. And what it does is it drops the entire deck height down, and it actually gives you like 3 to 4 more inches inside, which doesn't really sound like a lot, but I'm telling you, in a tiny house, in a tiny space, every inch counts. So a 3 to 4 extra inches can give you just enough to where you maybe can sit up in your loft now, or you have a ton of space in your loft, or you can drop your ceilings, whatever. There's a lot of design elements you can do with the drop axle. So we're coming over the wheel well, and we've got, you can see our stair treads, one of which is folding, for storage, because you don't want to waste any space. And yeah, we've got sinks and stuff lying around, but we're building it, so give us a break. Anyways, shiplap interior, big tall ceilings. They're all stained. These are actually faux beams, but only to cap real beams. You can see that the way that this hip and valley roof is done, excuse me, the way this hip and valley roof is done, it's not fake. It's not a full ridge beam coming all the way through, which is this one right above me here. It's actually 2 interlocking beams. But then, beams typically aren't the best looking things, so we just capped it with something pretty. Spanish style house, 16 feet, super adorable. Right now where you guys are standing is where the couch conversion bed is gonna go. I'm in the kitchen. Convection microwave, 2-burner induction cooktop, farmhouse style sink. Obviously there'll be some cabinet doors here. Floating shelves, open beam ceiling, and part of the design in this was so that these windows up here on top can actually shine light. We're inside of a warehouse, so we won't get any light shining through, but if we were outside, light could actually shine through and illuminate this kitchen area. Oh, mosaic tile backsplash, Spanish style.
Are they ready for the next part?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Are they? So, well, it's kind of, I got a bunch of stuff in here. Anyways, pocket door coming into the bathroom. Now it's a small bathroom. It's 10 by 16 house, remember, so you only have 160 square feet to work with. Has to be a little bit compact. Still has a sink, medicine cabinet, toilet here behind me. And this shower's kind of cool. Come in here. Come on, get in here. So I don't know if you can see it from your angle, but there's a control panel in here, and the shower door, you notice, goes all the way to the top. It's tiled inside and out all the way up to the ceiling, so that, oops, stuff in here. Anyways, all the way up to the ceiling, because the inside of this has a full steam function. So just like a sauna, you can actually fill this entire thing with steam and take a full steam shower. That's all I know about that.
Where'd you put the control unit if this thing doesn't have any?
Oh,
doesn't go beyond
yeah.
16 feet?
So many of you are wondering where the steam generator is. It's actually in this small section of the blind base. Now, we didn't just eliminate that whole corner because the steam generator is not that large. So you still get the space inside this cabinet to actually utilize, but that last portion of it is where that steam generator is located, and the access for that is outside. What else we have in here?
Let's talk about the little.
Oh,
storage,
what we should talk about is the staircase.
We're still rolling, so.
Yeah, of course. Sweating.
Side note: you should have a headache every time. This is fucking perfect.
So there's, what am I trying to say here? Oh, so how do I get up here? Well, it's not in yet because it's being manufactured, but it's almost like a floating, it's like a hybrid between a floating staircase and a ladder. I don't really want to necessarily call it a ladder because it's got big wide treads, but it does have a steeper angle and it kind of comes down here. 2 pieces of steel that come down and then floating stair treads. And the reason it was designed that way is so that it doesn't feel like such a bulky item because you can actually see all the way through it. So if you're sitting where you are and I was sitting here, we could actually see each other and converse right through the staircase. Not that people are going to do that, but you could if you wanted to. So yeah, you're just going to go right up. There's a guardrail here and a guardrail back. This is a queen size loft, or for a queen size mattress anyways. And then you kind of see this section, instead of being open, it goes all the way up. Around the corner, which I can't show you guys, but around the corner from here is actually a closet. So, what?
Is there a door on it or any covering on it? Sliding door?
No, it's just open.
Okay.
But I mean, it could. It could have a curtain, it could have a door, it could have whatever you want.
So next, let's just talk about the stuff they're putting in, like the fridge and the couch, and how the couch is also a bed.
Oh yeah. So in this section here, just pretend that I'm a refrigerator, and it's kind of like this turquoise blue one. What is it?
It's like those Maytag commercials where the guy's like spinning the laundry and then...
Yeah. Just fridge, get your food, cook it here, wash off your veggies.
Big chill.
Big chill, there you go. Big chill or Smeg or one of those retro style refrigerators, and it's in that like aqua or marine blue, or what is it? Yeah, marine blue, aqua blue,
color.
turquoise. That's what I was trying to think of.
And then on
Turquoise.
The other side, we haven't seen the other side yet.
Oh yeah, on the other side. This is where you'd put your couch. Yeah. And there's room, and this is like a couch that, folds out to a bed. So if, the client has a friend over or whatever the case may be, this can actually double as a second sleeper with a built-in bookcase, just so you can put your books. So we're getting a phone call. Oh, it's Megan. Hi, honey.
Hey, sweetie. I called Abby at hospital. They do not have any spots available today, but they'd like to come as a walk-in, which y'all know terrifying ever.
To take care of Marshall.
Yeah.
My dog's got a rash, so we're taking it into the hospital.
That's his vet. He's just called that.
Yeah, I know. A vet, whatever. Same thing. All right, love.
Two different things.
That's a pet hospital.
Everybody right now just freaked out.
It's a hospital.
It's more of a doctor's office for pets.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Usually when you have a checkup or you go to the doctor, you're not saying, I have to go into the hospital.
that's true. So, I know.
It's cool.
All right, I love you. That sounds great. I actually did not understand some of the stuff you said because I'm shooting a video right now.
Live, actually.
Live. So I'm going to call you back. All right, bye.
Bye, Megan.
All right. So yeah, couch. Oh yeah. So right above me, you see where these lights are hanging. There's like a soffitted ceiling, and the reason for that is remember like a few minutes ago where I said this thing has no protrusions. It's completely self-contained, I guess, in that 160 square foot footprint. Well, that's because the water heater for this unit and the air conditioning, I mean, obviously you see the interior portion of the AC, but the exterior sits on a deck right outside here, and the water heater sits right above me right here. And the reason we had to do that is the client just did not have the space. You know, otherwise they could have just got a bigger house, or they could have done protrusions. We're trying to maximize as much space in that 160 square foot platform that we had to work with as humanly possible. So that's what we did.
Cool. Well built in. Steps.
All right.
Can we talk about this little
Bookcase?
bookcase counter or anything?
Oh yeah.
So we can roll. We can
So
boogie after this.
this is kind of a, I'll just kind of just do one of these. This is like a little eating, working, I don't know, whatever. It's just a utility space, whether you want to do, you know, homework or work or kitchen stuff. You know, your mail falls right in, doesn't fall on the floor, which is nice. Not everybody thinks about that. You don't want to be picking.
It depends on the amount of mail, I guess.
Yeah, again, if it's bills, just.
How much? There's a separate.
Separate. You just have like a slide or something. Yeah. And then this is that bottom step. It's not finished, obviously, but that's that kind of hinged one. Yeah, right there. This bad boy sits kind of like this, and then we'll hinge up and down so that you can access it.
They want to know what the door looks like. If it's a solid door or...
Oh, so it is not a solid door. It is a 6 light, 9 light? 6, I think it's a 6 light. And so when talking about like a door or a window, light means window or glass pane. So a 6 light door will have 6 panes of glass. And then it's got like a mullion, well, I'll just show you.
Yeah.
Come on, let's all learn what a 6 light door is. Where's that thing? Oh yeah. It's nice and dirty and dusty, but this is a 6 light door. Get in here so they can see the bottom.
It's very important.
It's very important. Ooh, so this is mahogany, and then dual pane glass. Dusty, dusty dual pane glass.
Looks good.
Cool.
You want to show them that
Oh, there's a
indent on
skylight. You didn't show you the skylight. Can we see it from here? Oh yeah. So up there in the loft is your egress skylight that you can open up. And if you want to, you could stand up and get a cool view. What else did we talk about?
We show the end real quick, and then go back and answer some questions.
That way you guys understand what I was talking about when I was saying like a built-in soffit. So water heaters up here, and then you've got this space, and you see that white kind of strip right in the middle? Here, I'll just show you. That way you guys can see what I'm talking about. This guy right here. So this will have a continuation of that faux beam coming through, so it gives it that look like the beam goes all the way through the house.
And then is there something over the water heater?
Yes, there's a cover. It's actually over there on sawhorses that goes on top of the water heater thing and screws on, and it's stuccoed so you don't really notice it's there. Obviously you can't put a cover over your mini split system, or it it doesn't breathe well and it doesn't work properly. So you want to leave that open, nice and airy, so it's getting all that airflow.
Cool. All right, there's a bunch of questions. Let's go answer some questions, and then we'll get to the next house.
Cool.
Check the sound real quick.
Checking the sound. Does the sound work?
Sorry, we are live, so you can chat. The sound might just be the wrong one.
Am I live on video?
Yeah.
Oh. Hi, guys. Can they hear me?
I don't know.
Can
hear you?
Oh, you hear me, great. Okay, can you read me some questions, please?
Okay, so
All right. Sweat has been removed.
modular homes are built off-site and placed on foundations via crane.
Modular homes are built off-site. Can you turn? There's a weird echo. Turn that off. What is that? Modular homes are built off-site and then moved into place via crane. Yes, that is true for most modulars, correct. And a modular tiny home is no different. In fact, the unit I was just touring, actually, even though it's on wheels, it will be placed in San Diego under their new ordinance. It gets craned in and put into place. So,
Tiny house safety questions. Full glass doors might be unsafe. What about just glass in general? What kind of glass is used in the house?
tiny house
Burglary, theft.
safety questions, i.e. glass doors. Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. A tiny house has similar safety precautions that a standard home has. I mean, you're going to have smoke detectors, carbon monoxide detectors. If you use gas, you're going to have gas detectors. There's fire extinguishers. All the glass in the house that's used is all tempered. And I can't speak for every builder, but for us, we use full tempered windows everywhere. So that way nothing's going to shatter and create, big glass shards. Full glass door versus a solid door, it's personal preference. This particular unit's getting placed in a backyard. I'd say it's probably pretty safe. I mean, if somebody wants to break in, criminals and the like, they'll get in to whatever, whether it's solid or glass. But yeah, solid doors are always an option, and we use them. We also use, camera systems like Ring doorbells to get installed for extra safety precautions. So
I've heard the lead times at Cal Tiny is 4 to 6 months. Is that from the time of finalizing the order to delivery, or the beginning of the order to delivery?
You've heard, I'm repeating the question. The question was, I've heard that the lead time through California Tiny House is 4 to 6 months. Is that from the time we start to build to delivery, or the time of order to delivery? That's usually from the time of order to delivery. It fluctuates. Right now we might be even a little bit more than that. Our models are always going to have a quicker turnaround time because it's usually items that we stock. The custom process takes a little bit longer. It takes, sometimes up to a month for design. It could take, longer lead times for ordering custom materials. So customs typically take a little bit longer than our traditional models. But yeah, time you place the actual order and contracts are signed until delivery. What else we got?
Oh, we want to know about the loft.
Mm-hmm.
If the loft was just meant for storage, or if it's actual sleeping loft.
Oh, so the loft in the Spanish style house, it's a sleeping loft. I mean, could it be used as storage and have like a pull-out couch, like I said? Yeah, you could do that if you wanted to. I know the client's intention is to put a pull-out sofa on the ground level as like a guest sleeper, but then the main primary bedroom is actually in the loft. And I think it's queen size. Yeah, queen size. Oh, we get there's a lot of questions on price for all of our units. The best thing to do if you're interested is just send us an email. I don't like to publicly talk about our customers' prices, especially for customs, but we build homes ranging from $30,000 all the way up to $180,000. It all depends on really 4 criteria, especially with customs. Does the initial size, so obviously the larger the trailer, the bigger the price tag. Design, a simple square box is always going to cost less than a fairy tale castle or something with a lot of design elements built into it. And then material choices. With custom projects, we let our clients choose materials for the most part. Sometimes we suggest tiny house specific things that work a little bit better, but there's a huge range, difference between, let's say, particle board and, plywood, or, just poplar cabinets versus mahogany. There's big price differences in the actual materials, excuse me, in the materials that we use. And then the last one's labor, which is pretty consistent with every house.
Okay, Tracy has a question about board and bat instead of shiplap. Why would you use that instead of shiplap? She thought that shiplap was better for traveling tiny houses.
Okay, Tracy had a question about shiplap versus board and bat. What's better? That is completely up to, it's in the eye of the beholder, I guess. Everybody likes different stuff. Board and bat is just a totally different style of exterior siding or interior siding. In the case of the Spanish style, the shiplap works really well. It fits the kind of the theme and overall style of the house in general. Board and bat works just as well. Both of them typically get painted. If you do a shiplap, some people will whitewash it or even leave it natural. They both work just as well. Shiplap's going to be a little bit more weight, and it's going to cost a little bit more to put on the inside of the house, because instead of putting up big sheets, of plywood, or whatever people use for their board and bat. It's each individual piece, so it's a little bit more labor intensive. But there's really it's all personal preference for style. Keep them coming, Scotty.
Thanks for repeating the questions. He's hard to hear. I assume they mean me because now the mic is just on you. That's okay. So all of your stuff is ANSI certified? Question mark. If I buy a used one and get it certified retroactively, does that work in all counties?
Great questions. Certification. Is every build that we do ANSI certified? The answer is yes, 100%. Now, there's 2 RV certifications, one of which is called the NFPA, and the other is the ANSI. We build everything to the ANSI code because it's a little bit more stringent. For example, like a park model RV or something that has a real traditional, residential style roof on it, those are all built to the ANSI code. But the NFPA, which is your typical travel trailer building code, that encompasses things like teardrop trailers and what are the ones, the pop-up trailers, that have the canvas sides. So there's not a lot of structural inspection in the NFPA code, which is why we just don't, I don't know, it seems too lax. So we like the ANSI code, we prefer it. Now, retroactively getting one done, that is extremely difficult. Think about it like you're building a regular house. If you cover up all the walls and all the framework, the plumbing, electrical, gas lines, there's no way to physically see them anymore. So it would be very difficult to get let's say a framing inspection on a house that's completed. Buying a used uncertified house, it's not something that I would ever recommend. Usually you can find them for a lot less than a new or even a used certified unit because it's got that magic stamp on it that allows you to place it in any legal setting anyways. So yeah, I don't know, retroactive certification is very difficult.
From To Sam Bam, are goosenecks more expensive?
From what was the name?
To Sam Bam.
To Sam Bam.
I'm probably gonna not read names.
Don't read names. It's too confusing for me.
Especially screen names. Sorry, To Sam.
Goosenecks, are they more expensive?
That's the question.
Okay, are goosenecks more expensive? Well, that's kind of an interesting question. Let me put it this way. If I have a 20-foot bumper pull trailer, just your standard, movable tiny house trailer that you guys probably see, day in and day out online, and then I have a 20-foot gooseneck that comes up with an additional space, that 20-foot gooseneck will absolutely be more expensive than a 20-foot deck, standard deck. Reason being is you're not only adding all the additional steel to make the gooseneck, but you're adding additional space on the gooseneck itself, which gives you a total house length that's a lot longer. The best way that I, talk to people, I give them the way to price compare. Figure a gooseneck, let's say it's a 20 and then it has an additional 5 feet. So now you have a 25-foot home. It's going to be similarly priced to the equivalent of the bumper pole. So a 25-foot bumper pole. Hopefully that wasn't too confusing. That make sense, Scott?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, if it didn't make
ready
sense,
for the next live thing. So
ask it. Maybe I didn't answer the question the way you wanted to.
We'll let them follow up. What size water heater was on the 16 we just?
So the Spanish style one has a 20-gallon electric water heater. It gives you roughly, I don't know, probably about 20 to 30 minutes of shower if you're mixing. If you just like a scalding hot shower, probably 15 to 20 minutes max. And then the steam generator is completely separate from that. So if they wanted to do, let's say, a cooler shower but add the steam to get that extra heat, they could actually take a much longer shower because the steam generator is a totally separate entity.
Okay, this is actually a really good question from
Great.
Kumaru.
You said you weren't going to read names.
I know, but he's asked the question a couple times, I think. Are you able to estimate what percentage of a full build the different stages would cost? So I think he's talking about shell construction, and whether it's from a trailer to a 25% to a 60% to an 80%.
Got it.
If it's a $100,000 house, kind of just break down maybe what those stages might be by your best guess.
Okay, so can we estimate? You probably all just heard my brother, but can we estimate the price of each stage of a build? Absolutely. You know, it's once again, it's all based on that same criteria I went over just a few minutes ago. The biggest items typically in a tiny house, the cost-wise, I mean, is the trailer. If your trailer's not somewhere around 10% of the total cost, I would look at another trailer. It is the foundation of your home, so it's extremely important that it's strong and has the lifespan that you want out of your house as a whole. Because if that trailer fails, you're gonna have to rebuild the house. Which brings me to another quick tangent. For those of you that want to go out and buy like an old RV trailer and convert it, I would highly not recommend that. You get a nice trailer. It is the support structure for the whole build. Then you have your framing package. Now it's a quick process usually to frame, but it is one of the bigger costs. You have your windows. If you're doing all tempered glass like we use high quality windows because they last longer and they have great warranties. Those are going to be a big cost. And then exterior, interior, siding, and then roofing. Those are the big ones. Flooring, you don't have 160 square feet of flooring is not a ton. It's not a huge cost, which means you can put something a little bit nicer in. Granite, countertops, tile, all of that stuff is a fairly small cost of the total overall project.
Okay, a couple of questions. We'll do these ones kind of quick.
We're doing quick questions.
Did
I even answer the last question?
About how much the shell costs.
Yeah, so yes, everything can be estimated. Usually a dry-in shell, which means roof, walls, your framing, your shear wall, your exterior, your windows, your door, and your trailer. Typically, that's going to be about 50% of the total cost of the house. And then you've got, electrical and plumbing, which is usually like, 5 to 10% addition.
There you go. That was the answer. Okay.
Sorry.
What about insurance? Can they be insured?
What about insurance? Can they be insured? The answer is 100% yes. They can absolutely be insured. There's a bunch of companies out there that do it. Personally, Foremost and Strategic out of Colorado Springs. Strategic is my favorite company and my go-to for most of my clients. Typically costs between $700 and $1,000 a year, so it's very similar to like a car insurance. What's cool about tiny house insurance though is that underwriters out there have created a policy that's more like a homeowner's policy, but that you can also move your house, which is neat because before this it was all RV insurance, which really doesn't work the same. I mean, it doesn't cover hardly anything. So I like Strategic.
Let's see, is the weight in the build a concern? I think they were looking at the house that had all the tile, the heavy butcher block,
Is the weight of a house
going to be a problem for a tiny house? Just the existence of a tiny house, maybe bring up how the foundation is. I know you talked about it a little bit.
Well, the weight of a tiny house, it all starts at what the client wants and the builder itself, the builder themselves. Everybody's different. Some builders out there want ultra lightweight. They're using, SIP panel style walls, or aluminum. They're putting aluminum trailers, and their houses can be, pulled around with an SUV. We are not that company. We build heavy houses and we build bigger trailers to accommodate the weight. That way, if a client wants granite, tile, whatever it is, they want big beams and what other stuff have we done? Concrete countertops. You name it.
Tile showers.
We take a project and we do weight calcs prior to purchasing the trailer, and we ensure that we're not only going to have the capability to carry the weight that's going to be put on it, but also plus content and future stuff. Hopefully that.
Can you please repeat the names of the two insurers real quick? Because I have another question.
The two insurers, Foremost Insurance and Strategic Insurance. And that's, you can do like tinyhome.insure. I think that's the website. Tinyhouse.insure, something like that.
What items do I have to contact the manufacturer for when they do fail? Like appliances, water heater, AC unit, etc.
Warranty stuff.
Versus our warranties of the products
Okay.
in our homes, maybe.
I'll just briefly talk about our warranty and just warranties for tiny house stuff in general. Most items in a tiny home are no different than what you'd use in a standard home. So for example, if you have a microwave and something goes wrong with it in your house, you'd call the manufacturer, especially if it's brand new. So now our clients, yes, they'll still reach out to us and we can reach out on their behalf. But for the most part, warranty issues for specific manufactured warranted items are no different than any other house. Now, our warranty for all of our houses, we have a 1 year on all general construction. So this is going to be your trim, all the stuff that's actually put into your house. We have a 10-year structural warranty on all of our homes. Structural warranty is just as it sounds. It's the structure. And then a lot of the items that we use, like we almost exclusively use Milgard windows. I think it's a West Coast company or just maybe California. Anyways, Milgard's really cool. They not only honor their lifetime, no questions asked warranty, but they do it in a movable tiny house. And that's not a lot of things that people ask when they're talking to different builders is, are the items that you're using in your home warranted, but also warranted on a moving home that's driving down the highway? Because those are two different things. Not a lot of builders, I see products that they put in from Home Depot all the time, and I know for a fact, because I've called the companies, that they're not covered under a movable style structure. But yeah, lifetime on roof. The stucco is a lifetime warranty. The windows we use are lifetime. The flooring we use is 50-year. So we use a lot of really big warranty products. You pay more for it, but having less callbacks and less headaches from our clients is worth it. What else
Do you
we got?
recommend that buyers take care of the final details, like curtains, blinds, etc., on their own?
Do we recommend that clients take care of the final details? Blinds, curtains, furniture and stuff? Yes. Yeah, well, yes and no. I mean, we don't mind installing them if a client has picked them out, but window coverings, mattresses, televisions, blinds, all that stuff. There's so many options out there, and people have preferences. Like, for example, a couch that I sit on might not be comfortable for the client. So I would prefer that they pick out something that they know that they're going to like, versus me using something that I like. We absolutely can do it. It's not something that we do very often, though. Usually curtains and blinds and stuff like that. Interior furnishings is not something that we include. But we could do spoons and knives and forks and plates if people wanted them.
In the Mojave Desert, the winds can get up to 50 kts. But I guess somebody also asked about hurricane wind.
Hurricane wind
safety and
hurricane wind force and the way tiny houses work in high wind areas. Tiny houses are absolutely the best product to use anywhere where it's windy. The reason being is it's a house that's built to travel down a highway at 55 miles an hour, and with any cross breeze at all, it's going through a hurricane. But simultaneously, it's bouncing down a highway. And if any of you live in California, the highways here are not, cement. They're not smooth. So it's simultaneously going through an earthquake. They're built very strong, or our units are. Once again, I cannot speak for other builders. They're designed specifically for that reason. We have quite a few units in the desert, very high winds, 60, 70 mile an hour, and they're not even strapped down. Now, if you are in an area that's got, major high wind, especially, East Coast or hurricane force winds, I would probably tension tie it to the ground, and that can be achieved by, on the trailer, there's connection points to use almost like a turnbuckle, and you can actually tension tie these things down to get a little bit more stability.
Okay, so really quick, I have you on Instagram right here.
Oh.
Just to tell everybody on Instagram that we're streaming live on YouTube, because there are hundreds of people on Instagram waiting for the live stream.
There's people on Instagram waiting for the live stream.
Yeah, I mean, you're on it.
We're all
right
we're
now.
all on YouTube, man. You guys got to switch over.
The links in
The link's up there. My brother
the
says.
info.
So
Somewhere.
hold on, YouTube. Sorry, Instagram. You guys all got to switch over. We're doing live on YouTube.
All the cool
right
kids
now.
are on YouTube.
Yeah. Instagram's gonna ban us for that.
No, we like both.
We do like both. We just chose one over the other.
Okay, last question, and then I'm going to cut the Instagram feed, and we'll just continue
Okay.
on YouTube.
Questions. What do we got?
As ex-remodelers, would you ever remodel one of your tinies for a client down the road?
As ex-remodeling contractors, would we ever remodel one of our tinies for a client down the road? Yes, one of ours. I will not, and I can't say this enough, I will not remodel or repair any other builder's house. We did, however, help one of our close friends, Lindsay from Experienced Tiny Home, who she had a builder that built her house on the wrong size axles, and she was in a very dangerous situation here in California. We did help her out and put her in contact with our trailer manufacturer to get that problem resolved. But that is one time only. And we just don't want to be responsible for somebody else's mess ups. Not that they did mess up, I don't know. There's some good builders out there. What else we got, Scott? You got to read questions. Get off Instagram.
What's the most creative multi-use piece of furniture you've made?
What is the most creative multi-use piece of furniture we've ever made? Oh man, we've done a
lot of different things.
A bunch. One of our first couple houses had a really cool piece of furniture. It had a raised kitchen floor with a trundle bed that kind of rolled out underneath it, but only the last 2 feet of the bed stuck out. And then we manufactured like a big couch cushion that sat on top of it, and it had like a space so that the pillows always remained. And then it had a full like headboard, which in couch mode was kind of the backrest to the couch. And then against the wall, it had a fold down booth with folding chairs. So it was a desk, a table for four, a bed, a couch, and kind of everything all encompassed into one. And then even when you pulled the bed out and locked it into place in bed mode, the back of the couch created like this big soft cushy headboard. I don't know if that's the best one or the coolest one, but it was pretty cool. That was pretty fun. I did get stuck underneath it working on it one time.
How do you transport tiny houses from California to, let's say, Cayman Islands? Do you have recommendations for transport? Just think about other.
How do we
Hawaii.
transport tiny houses to other places? This said specifically the Cayman Islands, which we've never done. I'm sure there's a way to do it. But for example, going to like Hawaii, out of California, we ship, cars all over the world. I prefer those style of boats. We can actually pull a house into it. It's completely enclosed. It can go overseas, or it can go to Hawaii, or really anywhere, and be safe. Versus your standard like cargo ship that has shipping containers on top. What happens when you ship via that way? You have to completely board up the house. Rogue waves have been known to rip AC units off and roof off, because the ocean can be brutal. So I prefer like an enclosed style shipping method, but yeah, I know a lot of builders that have shipped either overseas or to other countries or to islands and stuff.
Okay, real quick.
Did I answer that?
Yeah.
What was the question exactly?
Shipping somewhere like Cayman Islands. Or
Yeah,
somewhere.
can it be done? Yeah, absolutely.
Next question. Do you have any pre-priced? It said cookie cutter homes. Man, I don't like that word, but any cookie cutter homes that they can see or that are coming up?
Do we have any cookie cutter homes? We have models coming out 2020, which is now. Over the course of this summer, we're releasing more and more. Right now we have, I think there's a couple that you can see.
There's 5 at the end of next week that are coming out.
There's 5 more coming at the end of next week. There's a ton of models. We've got downstairs options, a multi-bedroom for larger family options. We have a full economy series coming out. It's mostly for college students and our efforts for affordable housing and to combat homelessness here in the state of California. But they'll be available to all. It's more fleet housing and stuff. We have Airbnb series, ones that are just designed as backyard offices or yoga studios. We all sorts of fun stuff, guys. So yes, we will have a full line of models or cookie cutters, as they were stated, and the prices will all be shown, so you guys won't have to text me or email me a million questions about price.
Yeah, and you have to bake us cookies if it's a cookie cutter house that you
Yeah.
Let's see. Will we build houses from purchased designs? Like, say somebody buys a design somewhere.
Will we build a house from a purchased design elsewhere? Probably not. Now, we've used them as inspiration for why the client wanted that style design. With a lot of our customs, we want them to have a piece of us in addition to the needs that meet the client, and we prefer to do kind of everything. I mean, a lot of the times when we're asking clients to look for inspiration photos, we do not want them to even show us pictures of tiny houses that they like. It gives us a blank slate, a blank canvas to work with, and that's what we prefer. So if you have purchased building plans, I mean, I don't want to say that they're going to go to waste, but we can use them and ask you, what it is that you like about it. Why did you buy them? And then incorporate those elements with our own kind of twist.
The quick programming update. We're going to go outside again in about 5 minutes. So just.
All right. So programming update. We're going to go back outside in 5 minutes. It's only getting hotter.
And say hi to Charlotte.
And say hi Charlotte.
But a couple more questions before we go.
Charlotte from Lisa? Oh, hi Lulu.
Let's see. How long does it take to build a house, like the actual house? Like, how long does it actually take to build a house? Not to order the trailer, not to everything, but building. Go.
Okay, how long does it take to actually build a house? Assuming that there's no ordering and everything is here. Our models typically take about 15 to 20 work days, which is about 1 month. Big complicated customs can, take 3 to 4 months even sometimes total. So that's during the work week. But we also build a few days while, let's say, it's getting painted to work on another project. But yeah, on average, I'd say 1 month to 3 months. Sometimes 2 weeks for super fast houses.
Not sure if you already answered this, but will you be doing virtual educator workshops?
Okay, not sure if I answered this. Virtual workshops. As of now, we have the plans for workshops and other things like it, but we don't have any set dates for any of those virtual style workshops.
The workshops that we have are planned for part of another program.
Yeah. So I'll tell you quickly so I can at least answer your question. We have a building course with, certified plans, meaning that when you're all said and done going through our online course, basically, you wind up with a certified home, no different than the ones that come out of our warehouse. It means that it can be legally placed. Now, this started out but starting probably, next year? Starting next year, I think we're going to open it up to the public and allow it for DIYers.
Her
We're kind
was
of
for educators, I think.
for educators.
So we're going to be doing live things just for educators in the program?
Yeah. Within the
This fall.
program, we have live education, all sorts of fun stuff for them. But we haven't opened it up to the public yet. So we've been focusing mostly on educational institutes.
Do you do radiant flooring?
Do we do radiant flooring? Yes, absolutely. There's a couple cool products. You guys can look them up. One is called Carbonic Heat, and the other one is called Warm Waves. There's dozens of film style radiant heated flooring. I mean, I've moved past running copper through the floor. It's cumbersome, and I don't think it's necessary. Plus, I don't want a broken pipe driving down the highway, which can absolutely happen. So we use the film style. It's electric, and they work very well. You can also use the same product to do a heated roof. For example, if you live in an area that snows a lot and you don't want 7, 8, 9, 10 feet of snow piling up on your roof, through the winter months you can actually have a thermostat and warm up a steel roof so that all your kind of snow just melts away.
Do the prices quoted on the models include taxes and fees?
Do prices quoted on the models include taxes and fees? I'm assuming you're talking about just from the website alone. No, that would not.
Yeah, different areas are going to have different taxes.
Yeah, because, for example, if you register your trailer here in Fresno, the tax rate here is different than, let's say, San Diego, which is different than, in Texas, which is different than in Louisiana. So everybody's tax rate's different. It does not include taxes and fees.
Do you use different insulation when building homes for very cold climates?
Do we use...
Or even just
Yeah,
different than what
okay.
we use for
Do we use
California?
different insulation for different clients? Absolutely. We have insulation upgrades that can be for, sub-zero climates all the way to, places like San Diego where it's 70 degrees all year long, which they don't need a whole lot of insulation there. So yeah, we just fluctuate it based on what the client wants.
So, last two questions before we get ready, before we take a break so we can mic you up and everything for the outside. What's the cost comparison between an RV and a tiny home?
The cost comparison between an RV and a tiny home. I don't love comparing the two, and only because they're two completely different industries. A tiny home is exactly what it sounds like. It's built and designed to be lived in full time, whereas an RV or a travel trailer are amazing at aerodynamics and flying down a highway and being pulled by a small SUV. They're designed, however, for temporary use, a weekend, maybe a month. And you can go online and find a million, people that have lived in RVs for long periods of time, and they'll tell you, a lot of the stuff doesn't hold up over time because their cabinets, for example, aren't meant to be open and closed for a month straight. Maybe over the course of the entire lifespan, but not day in and day out. Price differences, though, that depends on just like a tiny house. There's tiny house companies that, sell all their homes for 30, and there's, some that sell all of theirs for 180, 190, for the same size. You're going to find the same thing in travel trailers or recreational vehicles. It's all based on length and amenities.
Well, here's a loaded question.
Ooh.
Are all the homes
I hope I answered that one.
RVIA certified?
Are all
and then
the...
somebody else earlier on asked about NOAA and some of the other different options out there.
I don't really want to talk about NOAA if I don't have to. That's a better question for the Tiny House Industry Association. The owner and I we don't get along. But anyways, we don't get along. I'll just quickly talk. So currently NOAA is not recognized by most municipalities as a third-party accredited inspection agency. So they need to do their due diligence and get all their accreditations for all the states prior to issuing tags. Anyways, that's all I'm going to talk about them. Are all of our homes RVIA certified? It's an interesting question, worded weird. The initial answer is no. RVIA stands for the Recreational Vehicle Industry Association. They don't actually issue tags. They have it's an association that has inspection agencies that work for it. So even though you're getting an RVIA tag, it is not the only company that can issue a tag. There's dozens of others. For example, Pacific West Associates. There's Radco, NTA, PFS. I mean, there's a bunch that do it within throughout the entire country. I prefer, in lieu of RVIA, most builders prefer having a inspection agency that also does modulars or manufactured housing in addition to ANSI, inspections, because they know all the structural stuff. They know all the local building codes. So they're going to be a better fit usually, at least in my opinion. And for the state of California as a whole, like for example, in Los Angeles, who just recently passed a bill, they don't recognize RVIA's stamp for legal placement because it's done by a recreational vehicle industry association that typically lobbies against full-time living. However, they will accept ones from NTA and Radco and PFS and PacWest that allow you to, that know what they're looking for, especially within the building code of the state. Okay. And so they recognize those. It's a long question. If you need more of an answer, just ask me later.
Kind of a two-parter. And we're only, I keep saying we're only a few more questions, but I'm still getting the other camera ready, so it's going to be a couple more questions.
All right, we're getting cameras ready so I can answer some more questions.
So, can you use eco-friendly materials? Can you bring in materials to be reused?
Got it.
Like sinks, like cabinets, like wood coverings.
So,
and also maybe talk about solar, because I'm getting a lot of questions about
solar. So green building, reclaimed materials, and solar. I'm going to kind of cram this all into one, even though they're totally separate questions. Let's do the first one. Eco building and green building, yes, absolutely, it's an option. Most of the products that we use anyways now are natural or ultra low VOC. Is every product that we use? No, not all the time. It depends on the client. So once again, if you wanted, green materials, there's a price associated with them, but it's always an option, and that goes through the entire build, the entire process. Solar. Next question. No, not solar. Reclaimed. Reclaimed items are awesome in moderation, I guess. Personally, because we're we build new tiny homes every year. We don't use a lot of reclaimed items in our builds, but we will do accents. So we're not going to use any reclaimed windows, roofing, any type of something that has to do with the structure. But like interior doors or something, yeah, as long as it's aesthetic, it's not gonna be a problem if, let's say, the reclaimed item is damaged or fails or something like that. If there's a problem, did I get that one? Oh, and then solar. Solar we get questions about all the time. Can you do solar on a tiny house? Yes, you can just put panels on and backfeed the ground of panels on a house so that during the day when it's sunny, you're creating energy, meaning that you're turning your meter backwards. And then they want to find that fine line where it turns it backwards so far, and then at nighttime, it reroutes, and you want to end up with a net zero. 25 years ago, they were, cutting checks to people that had solar and paying them for all the energy they created. That doesn't happen anymore. So they're kind of finding the fine line. You can do the same setup in a tiny house, or if you want to do like a off-grid style solar, then you need to have battery storage. A Tesla, Humulus, LG, some type of big, lithium battery bank that can store the energy that you're creating during the day, so that you have something to use at night.
In Fresno County, do tiny homes on a trailer qualify as an ADU?
In Fresno, do tiny homes on a trailer or movable tiny homes count as an ADU? Yes.
Fresno County,
Oh, Fresno County.
not all of it.
Not all of it. Fresno City proper. The way that a lot of the tiny house ordinances started were the cities. And I didn't understand. I remember talking to Dan Fitzpatrick, the president of the the Tiny House Industry Association, many years ago, probably 6 years ago now, about why a county is so much more difficult than a city to get an ordinance passed. And he explained it pretty easily. He said, for example, use LA. LA City has, it's all city. It's all the same. But as soon as you do LA County, now you've got beach properties, you've got mountain properties, you've got ag properties, and all of those have to, even though they're totally different ecosystems, they're totally different areas, different style of houses, different size properties, you have to find one code that works for all of them. And so it's a really slow, really cumbersome process. Whereas a city, like for example, Fresno, most of the lots are, 5,000 or greater. Most of the houses are lined up in a certain way. So you can create something that's more uniform much quicker than you could if you had to get Fresno County and involve ag land and foothills and all the other stuff. Hopefully that answered it. But yeah, Fresno City, yes, 100%.
We have time for maybe two more, but last question. Here we go.
If we have time for maybe two more, then why is this the last one?
This is the last two-part question. Sorry.
Okay.
I don't know. It's hot, man.
It is hot. It's very hot.
All right. So, tiny houses taken off of trailers. A lot of questions about that. I know Lisa gets a lot of questions about that. I know I get a lot of questions about that.
A tiny house being removed from the trailer.
Yeah, as put on a slab, like actually installed on a slab or something like that.
Okay. So once you take a movable tiny house off of the trailer, it is now technically considered a modular. It would have to be built to a different code. Oh man. Okay. In an ADU setting where you're putting an accessory dwelling unit in your backyard, I'm going to use Fresno because it's easy. When putting a modular home, which you can absolutely put in the backyard as an accessory dwelling unit, you have fees. So you have your standard permits, your utility permits, environmental impact fees and permits, school fees, property tax, and a lot of times when you put something physical on the property, they do a reassessment. So for Fresno, that's not necessarily a bad thing. For cities like San Jose, where house pricing has quadrupled or even went up 10 times in the last 10 years, a lot of those people don't want to be reassessed for their taxes. Property taxes, excuse me. So putting a unit on wheels, however, let's say in Fresno, you have a $1,600 application fee so that the city knows that it's going there and that you can meet the proper setbacks. And that's it. So one versus the other, if you have a legal ordinance that allows you to use the wheels, put the unit on wheels. You'll save thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. And the setup is quick.
Cover the wheels.
Yeah. And all of those municipalities, LA, San Diego, Fresno, Santa Clara County, Humboldt, all these places that are doing it, they all require you to cover the wheels. So with like a skirt system or something, could you sink one in so that you didn't have steps up to it? Maybe. I'm not sure about that. I'd have to look into it. But yeah, a few steps up and you're saving lots of money. Plus you can take it. If you sell the house or move or know somebody who owns the house that's moving, you can take your home. You're not, having to find something
I'm
else.
just going to chime in. If everybody's ready to go on the next tour, you just ask them that and get your mic on while they answer.
Do what?
Just see if they're ready for the outside tour of the next house.
I mean, we get to dictate this. So, are you guys ready for the next house? Because we're going. We're going right now. I'm going to get it done quick and get back in here. Do I need to put this one next to it?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So anyways, guys, stand by for a sec. Let me let me get suited up here, and then we'll go on the next tour. What are we doing now? Are we gonna do the
Yeah, get the mic on.
8x24?
I'm gonna get. It's gonna say back in 30 seconds. It's gonna be about 2 minutes. So I'm really sorry. I don't have any cool graphics. In the meantime,
We're gonna be back in like 2 minutes. Perfect time for bathroom breaks and water breaks. Actually, I need some water. All right, next on our tour, guys, is a spin-off on one of our new models. This is the Studio 20 plus 4. It's kind of the prototype version. So some things have changed, but for the most part, a lot of it is still kind of is the same.
Yeah,
the windows and all that stuff.
Yeah, a few things are different.
A few things are different, but
a few materials.
yeah. So this is our board and batten, the start of it, anyways. Before any paint goes on, it's all marine grade plywood, and then a product called Bodyguard. It's like a composite wood so that it doesn't rot out and basically lasts forever.
Let's do the outside of this one first.
Huge windows. That's kind of the telltale sign of the Studio series. Just really big windows, feeling really big and open.
Downstairs bedrooms.
Oh, and of course the downstairs bedroom, hence the name Studio. So big windows. I mean, this thing is, it's massive. I'll show you on the inside, it'll be more impressive.
I got your mic here, you can go wherever you want.
Oh. So yeah, I mean, perfect house to have, you know, in the nature, sitting on a hill, anywhere that you have a view. It's just a big old fishbowl, you know, it's got tons of line of sight anywhere you are in the house, which we absolutely love.
Say Studio 20 and a Studio 24.
So a Studio 20 is exactly how it sounds. It is a studio, which means it has a downstairs bedroom. It's 20 feet long. Now there's a 4-foot option that you guys have to extend it, and what that does is it not only adds a little over 2 feet to the middle, It also adds 2 feet to the bathroom, which gives you an extra closet space and a vanity, or a cabinet with a sink. Bathroom window, that's actually where we're at. And the front of this gets capped. This is the studio utility box. It has water heater, electrical panel, and then air unit, all kind of condensed into one area, so that the rest of your house is all yours for space and storage and living. All right.
Also, maybe mention the.
Oh yeah. So in our studio series, it's got a combination of 8 wides and 10 wide options. And then each option has like some variations in length that you can add or subtract depending on the model you choose.
We're going to be talking about the models in a little bit, so we'll get to that. We'll get to that soon.
This model has a swamp cooler, movable swamp cooler in it that belongs to us. We will not sell it with the house. But it's super hot in Fresno right now, so. And there's our compressor. Super hot in Fresno right now, so if I'm sweating the storm, don't worry about it. I'm not gonna wipe it off or anything. Big windows. I mean, look at these things. These things are big. And I've got over a 6-foot wingspan, so. It's pretty cool. It's a big window.
It's a really big window.
It's a big window. And then this one, what's cool about this one is it's just as big. It is.
Prove it.
It's just as big. It's a big window.
Cool. And what else is going in here?
So I know it kind of looks like a big open box right now. The studio is designed so that you can utilize it in a bunch of different ways. Whether you want, just a couch here or something that pulls out, you could do a Murphy bed if you wanted. It could just be like a day bed style where you throw a bunch of pillows on and sit on it. Yeah, it could just be an office. It could be whatever it is that you want. An art studio. Excuse me. I don't need to sit and name 500 different things. Use your imagination. Whatever you can imagine in this type of space.
I think we should have them just name everything they could use it for.
That'd be fun.
Get like a list going of what.
Yeah.
What
It'd actually be great because then I could just forward that to clients when they ask me. Please help.
You heard it, guys.
Yeah, you heard it here.
What else could this giant box be?
So, this is the kitchen space. Under counter fridge freezer, sink, additional cabinets. This is like a drawer base. And then right next to this window is a closet. Somewhere?
Multi-purpose cabinet.
Multi-purpose cabinet.
It can be used as a closet.
Which is most likely will be used as a closet. But that, I don't know. That's what I would use it for. Microwave over the range. This has a 2-burner induction cooktop or electric cooktop, I think. I'm not sure which one it comes with.
You can do both. You can do both, and you can also get a convection microwave.
You can do both.
You can do all the things.
You can unlimited options that are limited. Limited options. Unlimited possibilities.
There you go.
I like that. That's a good sales pitch.
It's only about 103 in here, so.
Yeah, no, it's very, very warm. Lost my train of thought actually thinking about that. Oh. Because we have that additional 4 feet, like I mentioned, it pushes the bathroom out. Normally you have shower across from toilet, but because that extra space, you actually get room for a vanity, and then this super duper deep multi-functional cabinet space. Which, I mean, it's really deep. It's big, so you can fit a lot of stuff there. Towels, blankets, once again. Oh yeah, and then space underneath. If you wanted to, this just so happens to be sized perfectly to fit a washer-dryer combo. Almost like we planned it. Almost just.
Yeah. Toilet, sink.
Yeah, toilet, sink.
With the +4, there's a vanity.
Yeah. Vanity. Still have a decent sized window. Fan, exhaust fan. What else is in here?
This one's gonna be painted, right?
Yeah, the entire inside of this gets completely painted. The whole house is painted white, so it'll be real bright and light, especially outside in actual sunlight.
I noticed that you used a really nice wood in here instead of, say, like drywall or something.
Yeah. You know, this is kind of our version of drywall. Drywall doesn't typically travel well. It tends to crack and break and cause everybody, you know, problems. And we don't like problems, so we use birch. Similar wood type to what they make the sides of cabinets with, and sometimes even the front of cabinets. It's nice because when it's all painted up, it looks really, it looks like cabinetry, which we like because it's clean.
Cool.
So,
anything else you can think of?
Studio 20, yeah, ceiling fan, still has AC and heat. I mean, look at this, even this window. This is a big window.
It is a big window.
I know, it's
a cool
huge.
spot for like a table or like even just like a cool little chill sit spot if you had your bed over there.
Yeah. It's a cool spot.
Dang, how big is that window? Does it go up to like 7 feet?
Yeah.
On the top?
At least.
So it's like a 5.5 foot tall window?
Yep, it's a big window.
Cool, we got a bunch of questions. You wanna go in, answer some questions?
Yes. Let's take some questions.
And then we'll go to the next
Then we'll
house.
move on to the next one and I'll wipe the sweat off my face.
Yeah, that's the one thing. That's the one thing is
Why didn't you just wait for one more second? You get situated. I'm on though, right?
Yeah, you're live right now.
All right. So during my short recess, my wife texted me. So Bronson and Madison and Megan, hi guys. You're more than welcome to come by if you want. Love you. Hopefully they saw that. They'll text me. Anywho, all right, let's do some questions here.
Let's see. Can you build a tiny house on a concrete slab in my backyard?
Can I build a tiny house on a concrete slab in your backyard? The answer to that is no, but we do have a series of modular units coming out in the future that will be able to be built in a factory and then delivered. They will not have wheels. I repeat, they will not have wheels. And we're thinking sizes anywhere from 200 square feet to 750 square feet. In a lot of municipalities, you can have a 750 square foot standard home. So, unit on wheels. They take a little bit longer to build, the inspection process is a little bit longer, and the actual logistics of everything take a little bit longer. So can we put one on a concrete slab? Yes. But we won't physically go there and build it in your backyard though, no.
How's the sound? I feel like the sound is not great.
The sound is not great.
Denise Davis says that her son's name is Bronson too.
Nice. Bronson is an awesome name. So he's my 4-year-old, and I'm hoping that he's watching me right now.
Do we use spray foam or insulation?
Do we use spray foam insulation or just standard insulation? We do not use spray foam. And the reason we do not use spray foam is mainly because of our background. So for those who missed the beginning, my father and I were remodeling contractors prior to building tiny homes. And anytime we got into a house that had spray foam insulation, it was a nightmare. We were having to use hot knives and gouge stuff out just to move one outlet, just to add, a light switch. For the remodeling side of it, it does not work very well. Now, and if you ever want to change your tiny house or over the years, which people remodel and change their mind and stuff that they like all the time, spray foam is my least favorite of the insulations. Now, it's got a great R value, and that's why you see a lot of people use it. Our equivalent is a product like RMax, which is essentially spray foam insulation that's foil wrapped on both sides, compacted, and then they let it sit. So if you guys have ever seen online like spray foam that you just spray into a house, off gas is really bad. I like the rigid foam because all of that's gone. It's been sitting for a while. The nice thing is that you get the same, you get the same R value, but if you ever have to add a plug or a switch, or you want to extend a window or add a window, you can just pop that stuff out, do whatever it is you need to do, and pop it right back in. It's much more user friendly. And then insulation completely depends on the location it's going. We've used everything from fiberglass to a mineral wool, rigid foam, you name it.
What brand of mini splits do you use? What's the warranty on them?
Mini splits, what brand do we use? We use 2 brands. We use Mr. Cool and Aura. What's the warranty on them?
Yeah, or like what kind of warranty?
Yeah, they both have like 1 to 5 year warranties, depending on the unit that you buy. I say that because there's different series within each company. But yeah, we have been using them now for 5 years? We used to use Pioneer. We had a couple minor issues. It wasn't anything major, so if you like that brand, then go for it, I say. But we switched over because Aura's a California-based company that seemed to fit a little bit better with us. And then if there's ever any problems, they actually go out and repair it. So they back their product really well, just like all the other products that we use and manufacturers for stuff that we use. they all really back their own products, just like us. So we work well together. That's Aura and Mr. Cool. Mr. Cool's great. They're back east. I don't know exactly where they are, but they have got a cool product. Great for DIYers.
Do you have any 10 wide sizes?
Do we have any 10 wide sizes? Yes, we've got a ton of 10 wide sizes. You can see some on our website. I showed a 10 by 16 earlier. It doesn't seem like a 10 wide because it's so short, but I'm going to be touring a 10 by 30 plus 2, a 10 by 30.
10 by 30, yeah.
Yeah, so it's you'll get to see the difference between the 8 that I was just in and the 10 that I'm going to do next. But that'll be a little bit. I want to get some questions answered first.
The thing that we first played, you didn't even see it, but the thing that we just first played was the 10 Gooseneck.
Oh yeah. I didn't get to see the video that you guys saw that we recorded a couple weeks ago. But that was also a 10 wide. That was a 10 by 28 gooseneck plus 7 on the actual gooseneck, the deck. So 35 overall. And then it had like a couple feet bumped out. What other questions? Come on, Scott.
Where do you get your trailers from?
Where do we get our trailers from? We get them from a local source here in the Central Valley. We have used trailer-made trailers in the past. They work fine as well. I prefer our local company only because they build exactly what we want. They don't have just more specific trailers. So we can do anything custom, meaning that if we're building a house and we need to change the weight distribution of it, we can actually move everything around on the trailer to compensate for that. And they're just ultra heavy duty, like ultra to the max.
When can I order my tiny house?
When can I order my tiny house was the next question. Anytime. Today. Not now, but anytime after this is over. Or you can call Lisa.
What the local trailer company is, she's asking.
Oh,
RJ.
What?
She just wants to know what the local trailer company
Oh,
is. I think
it's R&J.
if that's Tracy, let us know if that's what you're asking.
I'm not sure what you're asking.
Who makes our trailers?
Or where they are.
Which one's the local one?
The
2 you mentioned.
Local ones R&J. They're located they're in Madera now, but.
Does it cost more for the removable hitch?
Does a removable tongue cost more? Or are you talking about the removable? So technically on all of our houses, we always have a removable coupling, which is the part that actually attaches to the ball, at the back of the truck. The reason we do that is so it's a theft prevention tool, but it's also if you're hauling your house and you get a different truck that's taller than the last one, you can adjust it. So every single unit that we does has one of those. But the actual removable tongue itself, it is more, yes. Because there's more steps and precautions that need to be taken in order to achieve it.
I know you don't like to talk about money, but are there discounts for purchasing multiple units at once? Say 5, 10, and then why not 50, 100, 1,000, whatever?
Okay, so do we give discounts for purchase of multiple units? The answer is yes. And it differs completely between the units. For example, if you bought 5 of the exact same unit, you'd get a bigger discount than if you bought 5 different houses. You'll still get a discount both ways. But yeah, it starts at 2 and goes all the way up. Usually you see the best savings between about 10, there's like different tiers, 2, 5, 10, and 20. After 20 to 60 are all about the same.
Do you build decks that can attach to houses?
Do we build decks that can attach to houses? The answer is yes. Now, a modular deck that has to be fitted and put in piece by piece can be a little bit more expensive than something that's built on site. It doesn't take too long to build a deck, but that depends on the area. If you're in an area that's really expensive, to hire a contractor, then maybe doing like a porch stair deck kit through us makes more sense. We don't do them very often, but we do offer them, yes.
And
Excuse me.
What's your smallest size tiny?
The smallest size tiny. I think the smallest model that we have is going to be a 14 by 8, which is tiny. We've already done one. If you guys have followed us for a while and you saw the dorm room that had the pull-out desk and the pull-out closet underneath that like 3-foot raised kind of captain's bed. If you don't know what I'm talking about, either go back and Instagram, or I think it might be on our website. It's not? Oh, well, anyways. That was the shortest house that we did to date. But I don't think we're going to get much smaller. I think 14 by 8 is the smallest one we're going to have.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
full
That's like a full house. That's going to be in our
probably in the element line.
yeah, probably in the element line.
Or in the soon to be released line.
Yeah. Yeah, anyways.
Cabin line.
Anyways.
Alright.
Moving on. Next question. That's the
So,
smallest one.
We were getting a lot of questions just in general about where they can go to find out where they can put their house.
Okay. The best resources to find where you can put your house, there's two. One would be the Tiny House Industry Association, abbreviated THEA. Great resource for placement for cities or that want to get legislation moved forward. It's a network of DIYers and builders. The general public is more than welcome to join and have access to just tons and tons of information. It's tinyhomeindustry.association.org. It's super long, drawn out thing. You just Google or DuckDuckGo it, and you'll figure it out.
Will you offer bathtubs in the
Oh, and the second source, real quick, is builders. Builders, and not all of them. Find somebody who knows what they're talking about or has been in the industry for a while. They're probably members of THEA as well, but if not, builders are a great resource. Why? We're always looking for new places to put them. We're looking for financing. We're looking for everything that helps us sell houses to you. So we do a ton of research. I know, a handful of the builders out there in the country. Most of us are actually pretty cordial with one another. So we have a good network of information.
Will you offer bathtubs in the studio line?
Will we offer bathtubs in the studio line? The answer is yes. It's not going to be an option in every single house, but for example, the unit we're just in, it has that additional bathroom space that has the closet. Well, it also has space for a washer dryer, or that shower could be extended, and that space where that multifunction closet is creates a bathtub.
Somebody asked a little while back.
Now, remember, real quick, before you ask the next question, Scott, when you do a bathtub, you have to have enough water to support it. So it does require you to get a larger water tank and or a tankless setup.
And in that model, it's just a tankless setup.
I just want to make full circle.
Yeah, that's fine. Somebody asked a little while ago what it takes to actually haul these things. Like, could they just hook it up to a regular truck? And like, if so, what's kind of the size, weight,
truck sizes,
brakes that they need for hauling?
The size of truck you need to move a tiny house completely depends on the house. How big, how heavy. I always recommend a 1-ton as the bare minimum. Now, we've hauled a lot of houses with 3/4 tons, even half tons. The 14 by 8 that we did, they hauled with a Tacoma, so a V6. It all depends on the weight of the house when it's all said and done, but for the most part, a 1-ton. Now, I'm just gonna answer a question that you guys haven't asked yet. Do most people even move their tiny homes, or haul them themselves, I should say? And the answer is no. Most people, at least that I know, hire it out to a professional company. A lot of people think that it costs tens of thousands of dollars to move these things, which is the furthest thing from the truth. I mean, we can go almost anywhere in the state of California for under $1,000, and California is really, really long. I mean, it's from us to Oregon is 10 hours north, and us to Mexico is 6.5 hours south. So it's a really big state. It's usually like $2 to $4 a mile, depending on whether it's an 8 or a 10 wide. But yeah, what's nice about that is they cover the liability insurance.
What if it's a house that's coming from us, not just they're moving it, but like if it's coming from us?
Oh, if it's coming from us, so we have third-party companies that do all of our deliveries. We did them when we first started many years ago, but because of various reasons, we now sub that out to professionals.
So this last question, because I want to do the last tour because it's getting super duper hot, it's two different people, but it's kind of in the same vein. Can you make fully off-grid homes with gray water systems? And actually, we're going to talk about that in just a minute, so we'll wait on that one. And then can you set these homes in a more permanent state, like hook up water, drainage, gas, etc.?
Yes. So can a house be fully off the grid? Yes. And we'll talk more about that after we'll do this last one, and then we'll talk more about that question. The next one was what? Can these be hooked up in a more permanent state?
Water,
yes.
power, drainage,
I mean,
gas.
most tiny houses are close in the fact to an RV, but only in the way that they connect to the grid. They use a garden hose for their water, RV white hose or something that doesn't have that plastic smell, a power cord, either a propane tank if you have propane, and then a sewer line, and that's going to be like your black water. Now, could you separate black and gray? Absolutely. Gray water is going to be dishwater, shower water, stuff like that. Black water is going to be your toilet, and then sink if you have a garbage disposal. Most clients park these things, they plug everything in, and they forget about it. So for all intents and purposes, it is a permanent structure at that point. They skirt the wheels, and you'd never know it was on wheels unless you knew.
And he's just asking, do you need a permit if the home was set up permanently, quote unquote?
Do you need a permit if the home is set up permanently?
Like set up as an ADU. I assume.
So a movable tiny home as an ADU does not require necessarily a permit. It's more of an application fee, and which I know it's all the same. They're always going to get money one way or another, but the fact that you can legally live in it makes it all worth it. But an application fee is much less. They need to know, one, the property is sized right. What is this thing going to look like? A lot of municipalities have criteria for aesthetics, so you can't have a bright pink house necessarily in a neighborhood that every house is white. They want it doesn't have to fit in completely. Could it look like a modern house in a traditional community? Could it look like have redwood siding or look more cabiny and be in that same thing? Yes, that's fine. They just don't want neighbors to complain. And because most of these municipalities, it's all by right, that means if you have the property that's sized correctly, they cannot say no. As long as you can meet the criteria that they set forth, a neighbor can't complain and kick you out. Whereas if it's not legal, they can absolutely do that.
Okay, that's it for now. We're gonna go do the second to last tour. So
Okay.
we're gonna go do that right now. Tour number 3, and
You guys ready? Tour number
tour
3. I'm gonna get out there and get it done because it's only getting hotter, and
Yeah.
I haven't even cooled down from the last one.
All right. Well, that's just part of the job.
All right, let's do this, guys.
Nick's going to take us through a new project. It's not something that we usually build, but it's kind of fun. So Nick, take it away.
Just as my brother said, this is, in fact, a new project, just as all new projects are new to us. I know, what a weird thing to say. Why did you put it that way? It's a unique...
It's unique to us. We don't build a lot of these.
Okay, yeah, we don't build a lot of them. It's unique to us. We're actually having a ton of fun doing it. And what that is a converted cargo trailer. Now, I guess it's not really a converted cargo trailer because we had the cargo trailer built custom. So we're not buying one and then converting it after the fact. But the same style applies if you were to buy a cargo trailer and then convert it. So like I said, we had this one built.
We're just starting it.
Well, yeah, we're just starting it. Super cool though. We put some, I just turned this up to open it. It fell right down. We put some super big storage doors on it that have access, and this is water storage tank. It fits nicely in that little cubby up on top. Now, I believe the client is doing an off-grid kind of a setup, so they're putting solar panels on top, and then they're going to utilize one of these storage spaces as battery storage. Here we've got this big old bad boy. For those of you guys that have not seen one, this, it's slippery. This is a black water tank. And since they're using a compost toilet in this is now just going to be a gray water tank. Hello. And I can do that because it's just gray water.
Right now it's gray water.
Well, right now it's nothing, but it will be gray water. This will hold all of the water that they have. Yeah, from sinks and showers and stuff, and it will affix right underneath. Aerodynamics right here coming through. Pretty
they
sweet.
Always say sharp corners are the best.
This will just cut right through the wind, not like most tiny houses. So.
Oh yeah, compared to a regular tiny house.
Well, yeah, but see, what we didn't want to do is we didn't want to use just regular automotive windows. We did do a cargo style, RV style door. It just fits better in this type of application. But the actual windows, we wanted to go with regular residential windows, so they have that R value, that dual pane, so they're not so loud, you know, the noise is coming in. This is like our incognito build, so this client can actually park in a parking lot of a, you know, major grocery store. Sorry, I had a leaky hose. Still plenty of headroom. This is what, 16 feet long? 14 feet long.
16, I think, total?
Yeah, maybe 16 feet total. Few differences in here. One is this has a roof mounted AC. We're going for aerodynamics here. But from the inside, other than that, it'll look very similar to most tiny houses. Standard residential windows. It'll have a board and batten finish. Bathroom. Very tiny, but we're working with a very small space here. But it does have...
What's the ceiling height in here?
I don't know, 7.5? Maybe? Something like that? I don't know. I mean, it doesn't feel small. Like if you had a loft, yeah, it'd be rough. but they don't.
Feel like a drawer on top.
Yeah, it's a shelf. They do have a big closet though. This is kind of like their closet.
It's gonna be their closet?
Yeah, so it's 7 feet tall. I don't know, 24, 30 inches wide.
It's at least 30 inches wide.
We're working on it, Scott. Give us a break. Scott's complaining about the squeak in the floor.
It's not all screwed down yet, but still.
Well, yeah, neither are the walls. We're working on it. Couch. It's like a convertible couch, bed. It's gonna double as their couch and their bed. I don't know why I said that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once you say the word convertible, pretty much.
Yeah, it's a convertible couch bed, so it's a couch and it's also a bed.
Maybe like a convertible couch desk.
That could.
Convertible couch.
They have those bed desks, Murphy bed ones.
Yeah.
This is not that. This is just a regular couch bed. Yeah, kitchen. Kitchen's over here. Under counter fridge, sink, maybe a microwave. I think it's a microwave on this one, and then a cooktop. I think that's it.
It's actually a pretty good sized kitchen.
It's a big kitchen for the space for sure. It's big.
That's cool.
Yeah. So it's a cool project. Anyways, it's very unique. It's not something that we do every day, but it is fun. We're having a lot of fun building it. It is brutally hot in here, though. This one's been sitting in the.
It's really not much better outside. I don't know what I thought.
It's not. Yeah.
Experience if I got out of there.
Yeah.
It's a little better.
It's pretty warm. We could do. I guess we could do like a little walk around.
Oh, what? Around this one?
Well, yeah. Well, maybe not.
There's a dump trailer back there.
Yeah, I mean,
know,
that side
right in
looks
the middle
very
of the
similar
hills.
to the
It's
other
kinda
side.
crazy.
And all steel, so it's nice and strong. Anyways.
All right. Let's
Yeah.
let's just do that. Let's just do the
I'm
next one.
scared to even get questions about this one.
Yeah.
It's cool. Unique project. Still looking for. I don't know why I keep saying unique project, but it is. It's
It
unique.
is unique. I mean,
It's very unique.
the more you say it, the more. It
Yeah,
sounds
the
weird
more.
now.
Yeah, it does.
All right,
it
let's go
does.
through this other one, and then we'll double up and get questions on both of them.
Okay, I was gonna but that's
Nah,
fine.
we're fine.
All right, well
It's
then.
just getting hotter.
Yeah, it's true. It is getting hotter.
All right. Let's take a look at this other house.
Okay, everybody. So the next house is cool. They're all cool, but this one's cool, but also big. So it'll be a little bit more fun and more stuff to see. So what? Here, I'll just show you. Just point the camera at me. This is a 10 by 30 with a bump out. I think it has a bump out. Yeah, 10 by 30. So most of the house is actually 10 by 32. It's an absolute monster. This is cool. It's all cedar with a, I don't know what's stain.
It's like almost a black. It's like
Yeah,
a
it's
charcoal
a
stain.
ebony
So
or
cool.
something. I think is
Yeah.
what it is. Red trim, red roof. Red roof
Dude,
is
this
bright
thing
as red.
This thing is aggressively red.
Yeah, the customer really likes that, Japanese style with the bright whites and reds and blacks and stuff. So that's kind of what we were going for, or what she was going for. Yeah, it works. It's cool. I like it. So this is all cedar wrapping around the sides, but then once you get to the back and the front, the tongue portion,
Yeah, you just tie back. Perfect.
yeah,
That's good.
just Tyvek. Some of it's even loose Tyvek. No. This is all going to be black corrugated metal. Here, I'll show them here.
Do you have the metal?
I do not, but I can show them what the metal will look like. Welcome to our excess metal storage section.
That one's been there a minute.
It's been here for a little while. So this,
I can see you. I'm in.
well, I know, but I'm just going to hold it up.
Oh, we're on the thing.
Yeah, of course. This will be black, and we'll wrap this whole back section. It's very sharp. I did not cut myself, but
Oh, I thought you were saying that the black metal is going to be very sharp, not that.
well, the black metal will look very sharp, and physically it will be very sharp. So we wear gloves when we touch it. Oh, look at this bad boy. This. Oh wait, is this a 40 gallon or 38 gallon?
Yeah. It's like 38.
It's either the 38 or it's a 40 gallon.
I think it's 38.
It's a, huh?
It's 38.
38 gallon. Anyways, nice long showers or fill in a bathtub. If you don't want to use like a tankless version and propane, get one of these bad boys. And there's a, well, I don't know where it went. I think it's getting powder coated actually.
This is, okay.
What? You want to talk more about this?
No.
Scott wants to talk more about this.
No, I really don't.
It's just a big tank water heater. So, and then that sits in like a steel contraption that we designed that bolts to the back. I guess it's a water heater cabinet that also doubles up and holds the AC unit. How you guys doing in there? Okay. We don't want to, if I go in there, I got to wear the mask, so I'm going to let them clear out and then I'll go in. And I'm hot enough as it is, and God bless them for, we have got a big space here, and we're blessed that, everyone can stay socially distanced apart, and then when we can't, we wear masks and we all sweat and everyone complains to me, so.
And if anybody's going in a house, of course they're wearing a mask.
All right, well, what we're gonna do is while they're finishing cleaning, we're gonna make a full trip around. You guys have exactly the time it takes for me to make one trip. So follow me.
It's a long house. That gives them some time.
Yeah, it's like almost the halfway point, guys.
I'm sure it's clean enough.
Bathroom window. Yeah, it's clean enough, guys. No one's in here. Yeah, that's going to be a tile shower and storage on the left. We've got that tongue build-out protrusion.
Hey, this side's going to be metal too, yeah?
Yeah, that side's metal. So, come here.
Oh, I'm showing the roof.
So this is that build-out section. And a lot of people see our houses online and they wonder like why we have this notch here. And it's so that a truck can actually make the turn and the back end of it kind of comes into this cavern. So if we built this, for example, out straight, it could potentially jackknife and then crunch your truck up. But yeah, so a good portion of the house is actually 2 feet longer than the
usually bedrooms, you can
rest.
put a loft up over.
Bedrooms, bathrooms, works for lots of stuff. Cool,
They clear out.
flat. I don't know. Is anyone in there? No. Cool, flat. More of a modern, I guess. I don't know, modern contemporary style door.
I feel like it also is going to be red, right?
Glass. I believe this will also be red, yes. There's going to be a lot of, if you think it might be red, it is.
What do you mean? Like, what about the cabinets?
The cabinets are red.
What about not the sink.
Oh yeah, the sink is red for sure.
I mean, the shower though, that's got to be
That's
something.
definitely red.
The shower's red.
The shower's red.
Oh.
Tried to find red toilet, didn't have a lot of luck.
Not the red.
Actually, you know what? I think the shower is going to be white now. I think it's kind of a red accent thing going on in there. All right, enough about the red. This is a 10 by 30 plus 2 bump out on the tongue side. And what's cool about this is it's got a ton of space. It was designed for a family of 4? Family of 4, yeah. Which you don't see a lot. It's not overly popular for larger families to move into tiny houses. But if it's designed in a way that works, then it works. Question, Scott?
What?
Scott's,
I'm trying to read my phone while we're doing this, so I can.
Scott's laughing at me because I'm sweating, I think.
I'm sweating just as much, but I'm not, being broadcast around.
Yeah,
around
that's
the world.
true. This once again has our board and batten interior,
Okay.
all being painted. It's not red, just so everyone knows. This is white. TV section here. They're doing a big old TV. AC, heater, couch, sitting here, obviously looking at the TV, I would imagine. Kind of a cool cabinet. You know, this is basically a built-in, I guess it could be a bookcase, it could be, you know, just extra storage because it's pretty deep.
All right, we're good. It just
All
needed
right.
a second.
So we're back. Our camera got a heat warning and shut off. But
That's not a good sign. When your camera
yeah,
malfunction,
when your non-living thing shuts
says that
itself.
it's too hot.
Yes, it
No.
ended itself. So, but we still have to keep going. So I will continue where I left off. This cool storage bookcase deal down here. This cabinet actually travels all the way up to the ceiling, and then at the top creates like a big open closet storage space. And since I'm already over here, I might as well just show you this end of the house. So, oh, before I forget, when you have bedrooms and you have areas that are a little bit more closed off from like the air or the heat in the house, you want to be able to transfer air to those rooms. And so these are fans that bring air throughout the whole house. That way you don't, you're not sitting up in your loft sleeping at night and you're sweating because none of the AC is blowing through your closed door.
Or
So,
like right now, where
yeah, it'd be nice if I had these on. I keep thinking about it. Okay, so first thing you're gonna notice, whoa, that's a short ceiling. But let me tell you, this is for kids. So I guess if the kid is 6'6", 6'6", then
they'd have a hard time.
they would have a hard time.
Be a little snug. But even as an office or a bedroom or anything, this would be good.
This would be perfect as an office, bedroom, little den,
Playroom,
getaway,
workroom.
playroom, workroom. I don't know that it'd be big enough for like a yoga thing. It might be, maybe. Anyways, there's a lot of uses
If they do
back
yoga,
here.
They should be able to right?
Well,
Or-
yeah. I don't know if that's all has to do with like contortionism though. But anyways, that's beside the point. So this is kids' bedroom, but just the bottom half of it. Closet space, more storage space, desk for homework, and then staircase, careful.
Oh,
Staircase, oh, and a nice big window, of course. Did your camera die again?
Too hot. It says, warning, camera's too hot, we'll shut off temporarily.
Okay.
we're good. Let's go.
I'm
Let's
too
keep
damn
going.
hot.
We lost the camera again, but we're going.
Yeah, well, I'm not gonna.
We'll have Lisa come up here.
Yeah.
Let's do that. Let's have Lisa do this.
I mean, I could. Look, I can come up here. It's not a big deal.
I'll get you from the other side.
All right.
I gotta say, I really like the loft up there. There's lots of windows.
Yeah, no, there's
On
lots of windows.
every single
But
side of you.
in addition, yeah, and this window actually, I don't even think. Can you see this one? Yeah, you can see this. So this is a really big window, and then you also still have a 48-inch by 2-foot skylight.
Here, I'll pop around so you can show me the.
I'm
closet.
sitting on my
Closet.
microphone.
Oh,
Whoa! What was that?
I don't know. Trim.
Oh,
piece.
that's not even the trim for the floor in this house.
Another
I think,
house.
I think it was just a tester piece. Whew. It's warm up here. But nice big skylight for ventilation, which is the only way I'm getting air flow right now. Big windows all around me, and then additional bookcase, closet space. You know, any of that type of. People have all sorts of different stuff. You can put whatever you want in there. And then this is queen size bed. Oh yeah, there you go.
Put
Scott's
the camera down.
Scott's using his noodle. Oh. And here, I'll show you from the bottom. Turning around like that's not gonna bode well. All right. So right now this is all open, but we're working on these acrylic panels that close it off for privacy. You know, when a parent,
10 seconds
10 seconds.
before it overheats.
Oh, 10 seconds before it overheats.
15 seconds.
Acrylic panels, privacy, teenager, parents, separation, turn and close. Open for air.
Got it. And set them in the front.
Nah, that looks like Mike Myers from when he does the the Austin Power movie, whatever. Can't think of it. Austin Powers is what it's called. Anyways,
Those Austin Powers movies.
yeah, those ones. What's the name of those again?
Are there lights upstairs?
Acrylic
Do we ever have
panels.
those on? We should turn them on. Might be able to see the space a little better.
Oh. You know, I do not. Oh,
I don't think it should be at the bottom of the stairs.
there we go. Well, after our Cameron
We're good.
overheated and I overheated, now we're back. Acrylic panels for privacy, but also swing open for airflow, which I love. Right now we're walking on a plank vinyl floor, but what I like about these is look at perspective here. Can you see it? Oh, it's so nice. But look at how big these panels are. They're 6 feet long, or just over 6 feet, which is cool. I mean, I like it. I don't know. Anyways, huge floor panels. They're 9 by 6 feet, or just over 6 feet. So it's really cool. And this is what is this? Ash gray, something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, I think so.
Some type of gray.
We don't need to go up here, but you can kind of just plan what's going on.
Yeah, I'll talk about it. So kitchen, these panels are off because we're still bringing in 220 for the 4-burner induction cooktop. Refrigerator, big apartments or full-size style refrigerator coming all the way down, sink, and then an end cabinet. So it's a huge kitchen, 7 or 8 plus feet of kitchen. Huge, deep storage cabinet here. I mean, it's huge.
So we need to have like 3 people go in there.
Easily fit 3.
Maybe when things are safer for people to be close.
But you could, because there's so much space. This could be a bedroom.
Harry Potter style.
This could be a Harry Potter. What's his little Dobby? Dobby could sleep here.
Too soon, man. Not gonna make it.
What do you mean?
Did you not watch all? Oh my gosh.
I did watch it. I thought I don't know. Maybe I didn't. Don't get me started. I like that guy. Anyways, yeah, this could be a closet. It could be a pantry. You know what? Sometimes we build cabinets and we find space that we didn't know we were going to have initially.
It's like the water heater might be on.
And
It's gonna go there before.
yeah. But then we went with that upgraded, the bigger size one, and that didn't fit here. So now we've got this extra space to play with,
Maybe we'll do
and
some cool like pull-outs or
pull out or something. Yeah,
Pull-outs.
we don't know. Anyways, this will be something cool when we're done, and when we're all finished up, you guys can see pictures of it. Storage space.
Cool. Watch
Alright.
that. Watch that.
Yeah, I know. I saw that. It's because there's a face frame going in here still.
Yeah. Well.
I know.
Exit safely.
Yep.
Let's show the bathroom before we overeat again.
Okay. Big space, and then you still have additional stairs, additional storage, even in the kind of the triangular front one. Can you come around here? Let me just talk.
Yeah, I can do whatever.
Well, then do it, is what I'm saying. If I say, can you do something, that means, like, can you do it now? Can you do it right now? This is a walk-in closet, but it's not a walk-in closet. It's like a reach-in. I mean, you could crawl into this thing very, very easily. But yeah, it's like a big closet, super closet for a master loft. And if you notice, it's probably this deep. Oh, there you are. Probably like this deep. And then the rest of that space, all the way to here, is like a big bedside table. It has a window in it. It's got that recirculation fan in it. That's pretty much it. Cat-like reflexes.
I don't know. Cat.
That was very slow, cat.
Cat probably would have ran out.
Or anything. And I just keep bowing those in until I can get it.
Master bedroom's closed off, you know, privacy.
Yeah. So there's actually a door that goes up there so that it's full parent privacy. Bathroom. Obviously, this is another project we're still working on. But toilet goes over here. Vanity goes over here. Behind me, or behind you, I should say, is super deep. I was trying to say super deep. Super deep.
I would say they're super duper deep.
You could. Where the heck is the back of this thing? Yeah, this is real. That's really deep. Anyways, it's gonna be like a big pullout. If you guys watch some of our YouTube videos, you'll see what I'm talking about. It's like big, like 4 foot, 3 foot pull-out drawers. 3x3, just over 3x3 tile shower. Possibly in red, not sure at the moment, and without looking at paperwork. And then cabinet, countertop for folding. This is how you fold laundry in my house. Washer dryer, and then space next to it for another little cabinet. Yeah, I mean, it's a cool bathroom. It's a nice bathroom. Good size. Loft. You gonna go up there? Just go up there, man. Come on. I went up in the last one. All right, guys. Scott's gonna go up in the loft, show you guys around.
Let's give him a quick little.
Oh. Same size, yeah. 2x4 skylight. And it also opens, so it doubles as an egressable window.
So we've got the little corner, the little wraparound. The closet's there. And we got some lights still going.
We need little Julian to jump in there.
Yeah,
He's like a
I
spider
think
monkey.
Lisa's gonna do a quick tour. And
Oh.
just run around all the lofts and stuff, I think, if we can get her to. If we can
Fair
get
enough.
her into it.
So anyways, super cool house. Obviously, it's still really rough, but it's right in the middle of our build.
That's it.
Follow along. That's it.
Answer some questions and talk about some models. And
Yeah, I'd love to get back into the air conditioning. Actually, I'm not sweating so much anymore.
do you want a 5-minute break?
I would love a 5-minute break.
All right, 5-minute break. You guys see you back in
5-minute break. I'm on right now. Oh, this is a microphone, honey. There's a microphone. Here, you want one?
I'll take this other one.
No,
You
no.
can have that one.
Let Bronson have one. You don't want it? Okay. Bronson, can you do Can you do something for me? Can you see him?
Yeah.
Can you look? See that right there? Can you say, "Hi, everybody"? No, don't show him that. Don't show him that. He's gonna get all nervous. Say, "Hi." Eh, Grandpa's watching us though. Say, "Hi, Grandpa." Okay.
We'll leave them in the,
Here,
in the
just
shot.
play your crocodile game.
Okay, so a couple quick questions. I know we're going to wrap this
Hold on,
up.
I gotta answer some questions, honey. Okay? It's
Let's
okay.
see.
You can answer some questions too. You want to answer some? Yeah.
People say the loft in a tiny house gets super hot. Yes.
Yes.
It does.
Yes.
I wonder how these do with Fresno heat. Does a mini split keep us cool enough?
So the question is how do mini splits deal with the heat? This one was specifically for Fresno heat, but it's no different. Fresno's a dry heat, just like Arizona, just like anywhere else. They will keep these things down to 60, 62 degrees, no problem at all. Mini splits are awesome. They're used all over the world as air and heat sources. Sorry, I'm just getting back in here. Is so nice. That is a piece of microphone equipment, so we're just gonna not touch that. Sorry, he's playing his crocodile game. Mini splits work great for anything really, no matter what the heat is. They work really well. Below about 20 degrees, they have a hard time keeping up with the heater though. So if you're going to be in an area like Alaska or something at really high elevation, Wyoming, Colorado, something that snows a lot, you're going to want a supplemental heat source. And what I'd recommend is the radiant heated flooring we talked about earlier. It works really well to heat up a whole house. A lot of people, all right, B, you're losing your alligator. Here, you want to go play with it over there? Ugh. That's Bronson, everyone. Watch out for this stuff here. Take that.
So they do really well.
They do really well. Was the quick answer.
Let's see. How big can a tiny house be before you need a special permit to travel with it?
How big can a tiny house be before you need a special permit to travel with it? Good question. So, 8'6" is the legal limit nationwide for road width. Length, I mean, a tiny house has to be under 400 square feet, especially a unit on wheels. There's a legal limit, set forth in the building code that restricts you to 400 and below. So you can only go so long to still meet within those parameters. But anything over 8'6", whether it's 9 feet wide, 10 feet wide. What's happening there? Sorry, my kids came to see me and now they're playing in the other room. Anything over 8'6" wide is always going to require a special permit to travel with. But like for example, our 10.5s in California, the moving permit for 1 day is $45.
You're very welcome. Yes, it's hot, but I guess we're used to it in Fresno. All right.
Yeah, I don't ever really get used to it, but it's fine.
She said,
We're still here.
I'm sure we're getting hungry and thirsty by now. Yeah, more the latter.
Every time the screen goes black for you guys, it's just me shoveling, whatever I can in my mouth and running to the bathroom. So
just really quick, we're actually getting a bunch of questions from the Instagram side. They're not showing up as viewers on here, and they can't post questions. So if they're watching on Instagram, they need to go to the YouTube app. They can actually go all the way back to the beginning if they want.
Okay.
On the YouTube app, not popped open in Instagram. So just tell them that.
Okay, so for all of you Well, they wouldn't be watching me.
It pops open as a pop-in window. Just tell them to go on the YouTube
Okay.
app. They'll be able to watch.
If you are somehow watching this, but also commenting on Instagram, we are not looking at that right now. I mean, Scott is looking at it. That's why he's making me say this. But the questions coming through, put the comments in YouTube so that we can see them on our feed, and then we can answer them. Next question.
All right.
Keep this thing going.
Yeah, we're gonna.
Hey, Bronson.
How fireproof are the tiny houses?
How fireproof is a tiny house? Great question. It completely depends on the materials used. Can you use, fireproof materials for exteriors, the structure, interior options? Absolutely. Remember, guys, these are no different than a standard home built today. We just have to take extra precautions for high wind, like seismic stuff. So hurricanes, earthquakes, all of that when we're building these, but everything else is very traditional to a standard home. You don't see a lot of houses with like hardy or cement board siding, mainly due to the weight. Even if you built a really heavy duty trailer, it's still so much weight to add on for like a hardy style siding. So in like a wildfire area in California, we use a lot of our steel, and then we can actually treat wood or LP or armoring plywood so that it's got, a fire retardant barrier. And we use like fire stops and all that stuff, all the traditional building practices inside to mitigate fire damage.
Let's see. There's a terrible echo. I think that was back when you were stuffed in the box or we were in the bathroom. Yes, I can't.
Can I ask, am I echoing bad now?
We'll find out in a sec. There's a little delay.
Okay, we'll find out. I apologize for that. I'm just grabbing gear and putting it on as fast as I can.
How do you reach into that closet from the stairs? Question mark. Yes.
Oh yeah. So on the 1030 to reach into the closet, it's not even. I don't even like reach is just reaching out in front of me. But if I was standing on the landing, going up the staircase, there's an extended landing on that, so that you have almost like a platform to stand on before you get into the actual loft. And from that platform, you can just open the door or slide the door open and just grab it, just like you would, do in your house right now. I should have made it a little bit more clear, but I wasn't standing up there at the time. But yeah, it's just like grabbing clothes out of a regular closet.
Okay. Financing on purchasing multiple units.
Financing on purchasing multiple units, depending on the purpose, it works a little bit differently. So for example, if you are a large family and you're buying 3 units to put on a piece of land because you want like a cool vacation spot with multiple houses, that would be more of the traditional style of tiny house financing. And there's various companies now that are offering it. And there's a ton of personal loan financing options. I'm not going to list them all because it'll take me too long and I might not even know them all. But you can always comment. We'll reply when this is all over and maybe put some links in even of some of those options. For commercial use though, financing multiple units would be done more like from a commercial lender. So if you were doing a tiny house hotel or set up a big Airbnb, or you were buying a fleet unit for a construction site or a city project to combat homelessness, or whatever the case, foster, kids aging out of foster care community, that's going to be done differently. Hey Bronson, you all right back there?
It's from Carol. Oh, you both are great. It's not really a question, but yeah, thanks, Carol.
Thanks, Carol. That was my favorite non-question comment so far.
All right, there's only a few more questions, and we'll get to as many as we can.
There's only a few more?
Well, no, there's a lot more, but we're gonna get to a few more.
Just keep asking them, man.
Okay, let's see. Yeah, well, compliments. Those are great. Oh, Bronson, what a cutie. Kidlet.
Bronson, guys, he's my 4-year-old. Madison, my daughter, she's 1. She's here somewhere too, but she's a little spitfire. She's probably running around.
Okay, is there a guide or book or something you recommend for somebody that wants to build a tiny house on their own?
Is there a guide or a book for somebody that wants to build a tiny house on their own? Stop moving the camera.
I
Just
kicked the
stop
camera.
doing it.
There's children.
I know, but it wasn't the child that kicked it.
I know, but that's a good excuse.
Is there a guide or book for somebody that wants to build a tiny house on their own? There may be out there. I don't actually know the answer to that. Now, what my brother, my father, and I, what we're working on is more than a book. It's a full-blown like online course, very immersive, all video step by step, where a DIY or high school or whatever the case may be. Right now, it's mostly education based, or educational institutes, excuse me. But it's a step by step process where you physically go along with me and we build a house together. So it's a little bit more in depth than a book. Mainly because the certification process, everybody asks if houses are certified from every builder. Yes, we all have to follow specific protocol, quality assurance programs, to make sure and ensure that your guys' houses are built to a quality standard and they're not just gonna, fall apart on the side of the freeway. We have that fully incorporated into this build course. It is not available for the public at this moment in time. We do have every intention to do it, but right now, for the past 4 years, we've only been focusing on high schools, community colleges, and the like.
Do tiny houses need to be registered with the DMV? What are the rules regarding your tiny house on wheels?
Okay, do tiny houses have to be registered with the DMV? The answer is yes. Anything that is on a trailer, on a chassis, rolling down the highway is covered by the Department of Transportation or the DOT. It does have to be registered within the state that it's living, I guess, and per their code through the DMV. So all of ours are registered, yes.
I really like the Dickinson heat stoves. Do you recommend
Dickinson
these
heat stoves.
or standard wood burning stoves?
Great question. So I don't know who it was. They said they love Dickinson or they like Dickinson heat stoves. Really like.
Not ready to commit for love.
Yeah, not committing for love. But Dickinson heat stoves are absolutely awesome. They're very similar to the sailboat Kimberleys. Also awesome product. I would choose those before I ever chose a wood burning stove. I have nothing against a wood burning stove in most applications. In a tiny house, however, because it's such a restricted space, they tend to, even the smallest, like cubic mini, the little guys that burn basically pine cones, they get so hot so fast. And from just seeing me in the loft space, it's very warm in a tiny house. It's not hard to heat one. A few people, just the body heat alone can warm one up. So having a burning fire that's hard to regulate tends to cause the house to get a little bit too hot, and then most people have to open their windows in the wintertime to subsidize, cold air coming through so that they're not just burning up inside their house. They're easy to heat up, hard to cool down, versus a Kimberly or Dickinson. You can adjust those. So I would prefer those better. Now, the wood burning stoves though are absolutely adorable.
Okay, let's see.
For
was the last toured model one that will be included in the updated models page?
Is the last model
that's strictly custom?
Is it? Bronson, do not.
He's fine.
He's changing the lights.
He's changing the light switch. He's all right.
No, he's changing your light.
No, he's flipping the switch.
What?
He's fine. Don't worry about it.
Okay, sorry, my son's going crazy in the other room. What was the question?
Whether that one's gonna be modeled. That
Oh, yes.
Okay, we're gonna move. We got two more.
Was the last model I toured is it going to be a model? No. That's the short answer.
Some elements of it will be.
Some elements of it will be in one of our models. what is it?
And a
The
gallery.
gallery series. Some of that will be in there, but no, that one's a full blown custom.
If someone requests a lighter weight tiny home, what materials would you use? Would you use 2x2s instead of 2x4s?
So for a lighter weight tiny home, the question was, would we use 2x2s in lieu of 2x4s? No, I wouldn't do that. We could steel frame. We could use like SIP panels or something that's engineered to get a lighter weight. My question would be why? I don't often see the need to have a lighter home. If it's unless you're specifically designing it for travel, then yeah, you're gonna want to make it more aerodynamic. You might want to make it a little bit lighter, but I can tell you the lighter houses, they blow around a lot more on the road than a heavy house that's got a lot more grounding. So I almost in every application, I vote, go heavy. It's going to be better once it's parked in the wind. The wind's not going to push it around or blow it around.
Lighter home to travel with.
The only difference is, with a lighter home is, it's easier to pull with a smaller vehicle. So if you have a big 1-ton truck, then a heavy house doesn't really make a difference. And I would do like a gooseneck or a fifth wheel style for a lot of travel anyways.
Okay, does having a standard flush toilet end up making it more complicated finding parking spot, land to live on for your client?
Does using a standard flushing toilet make it more difficult to find a spot? No, not really. It depends on where you're living. So any legal spot you can place it, meaning as an ADU in any of the cities that recognize an ADU ordinance, in RV parks across the country, any of those applications, they're all going to have hookups. So I wouldn't say that it makes it any less easy to find a spot. Now with a composting toilet, the cool thing is if you're going to be off grid or you're doing like the nomad thing and you're kind of bouncing around spot to spot, yeah, it's going to make it a lot easier by utilizing a toilet that doesn't need a sewer system hookup. And you can always do tanks. Tanks are just gross.
Oh, that's a good question. Do you work with local artisans to do custom artistry, like stained glass, maybe vessel sinks, anything?
Do we utilize local artisans and artists to incorporate into the build? Absolutely. I mean, if that's something that a client wants, then we can do it. Stained glass, we can do it. It has to be done a little bit differently. Like I can't do an exterior window because it can't be like tempered for road travel, but you can do it by layering stuff and have it be on the inside. You can use it for interior doors and windows or accents. Vessel sinks, same thing. Yeah, I mean, on our custom side of things, we're always willing to at least hear somebody out on ideas they have for cool custom stuff.
So I see that all your trailers usually come in 4-foot increments, 20, 24, 28. Is it possible to do a 26 or similar? We actually do have a lot of 26s, 22s, 20.
Great question. So do our trailers only come in 4-foot increments? No. Because all of our trailers are built custom, we can do a 20-foot, but we can also do a 20-foot 6 inches. We can do a 20-foot 2 inches. It makes no difference. Typically, though, when you're looking nationwide at all the different trailer manufacturers, they mostly go in 2-foot increments. So, for example, 20, 24, or 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32. Those are going to be the typical ones that you always see. But yeah, no, we could do anything. If a client on a custom project needed, 8 additional inches to make their perfect design work, then we're just going to build a trailer that's 8 inches longer. I mean, it'd be crazy to say we can't do your house exactly the way you want it, or to add 2 feet and all the costs associated with it.
Let's see, how much is the first one you showed? I did kind of answer that, but just kind of.
Which first one?
The first one you showed live, or the first one that the first one I showed today? I don't know. We'll get back to that.
I don't know.
But we can actually answer. He can Santiago, you can message us.
Santiago,
directly.
yeah, just message us directly.
Anybody that has any questions, you can message us directly, not on YouTube, but on like Instagram or email. And that's pretty much it for I think today.
Is that it? Is that every question?
So we're gonna do the
Is
models
it every
and
question?
the design stuff.
If it's not every question, give me the questions because I'm already here.
Okay, we'll do.
Just do like
just that he's hoping for. There's a lot of just comments that aren't questions. It looks like I probably missed some. Talk about different models. He said cookie cutter. Thanks for that. But the difference between
we've got
the grades of models between like what comes standard versus what you can upgrade to.
We've got a ton of models coming out, guys. Hoping to, be a little bit more budget friendly, fit within kind of our standard wheelhouse, and that way we can stock items. That's the whole purpose of it. We're trying to speed the build time up, mainly for you guys, because our wait list is always really long every year. Custom projects take a ton of our time, and we love doing them. We have no intention of stopping customs. We're just taking less each year now in order to move forward with more models so we can build more houses for you guys. But yeah, we have a ton of models coming out. They're all different shapes and sizes, multiple different series. You can do upgrades to nearly all of them. Some have more than others. And then, if you see a model that you really love and you can't have, you don't have the option that you want in there, just call us. It would go into our custom category, but of course we can do that. What else we got?
So,
Let's do a couple more.
Okay.
If you guys have any questions, ask them now.
pros, cons of steel frame versus stick built.
Pros and cons of stick frame versus what, steel?
Yeah.
Steel versus stick frame. We're primarily stick builders. We use all KD lumber, 2x4s, 2x6s, 2x8s, and so on and so forth. The biggest difference is, probably weight versus, it doesn't make it that much lighter. A lot of people think because a steel stud's so much lighter than a wood stud that the house is going to weigh almost nothing. It's not exactly true. When you're dealing with steel, in order to get the shear value, because they're kind of flimsy, we have to sandwich a steel stud with plywood. Whereas on a stick built one, we only do one side. So all that extra plywood does, bring the weight quite a bit up. It is still lighter, but yeah, the difference just isn't there. Now, the reason that we use lumber almost exclusively, I should say, is more for the DIY and remodel factor down the road. More people are familiar and feel more comfortable working with lumber. If one of our clients ever needs to access something in their house or screw something like a picture into the wall, we want them to just grab a regular screw or nail. Will you be able to tour them?
Hold on, I think we lost the audio for a second. So, how about now?
Quit messing with stuff. It was working.
Let me change one thing. Oh, I clicked the wrong feed. Sorry, guys. Let me see if I can fix it.
Is it fixed?
Almost. 5 seconds. Okay, should be fixed.
Okay, everyone can hear me, I hope. So when we have our models completed on the site, will you guys be able to tour them? Yes. So we will do virtual tours for the most part throughout this year. We are still open to the public, but we've changed our schedule times so that we don't have 10, 15, 20 groups of people all coming at once. We want to keep operation. We want to keep everybody safe and healthy, including our guys here. So we're just doing time slots now. You can actually book through our website. We always have stuff to tour, all year long. It's like a revolving door of multiple houses. We will have models, we will have a mix of customs, and so on and so forth. We won't have necessarily a line of models just sitting here and being able to be toured that are completed, because as of right now, we're still built to order company. We're backlogged, so we can't catch up in order to build 10 models that are just sitting on site. We're trying though. We're trying desperately.
Hold on. Apparently, I'm on this somehow too.
You're what?
I'm on the feed. Somehow, I don't know what happened, but I think it's when we lost audio. It's okay. I'll just ask the last question. Sorry, guys.
You're on the what feed?
It's using the computer camera here that I'm using to monitor everything, and we're both on, like overlaid on the stream right now.
Oh, well, cool.
Okay. Sorry about that. So, I guess you left off. You got cut off when you were talking about putting normal screws into the wall on the thing a while back, but we've since caught up with most of that. The last thing that I think we had an actual question for was about the whether or not when we get models completed, will they be able to tour them?
Oh, Maddie. I just answered that.
Yeah, I think that's the last one that we had. Guys, are there any more questions? Oh, there's Maddie and Megan are coming in. Are there any more questions that you guys have for either of us? We're gonna talk. We're gonna do like a design and model talk here, probably in another maybe a week or so. We're gonna go over the models, the ones that aren't out yet, the ones that are coming out, and we're gonna talk a lot about the process and designing and everything.
Let her be on camera.
Madison really wants to be on camera, so I'm gonna fix this back.
Oh, this is my little daughter, Maddie. Say, hi, Maddie.
Let's see, Diana, send us a message. We've got a lot of information for you about educators, so send us a message or an email, and we'll get back to you right away. Model details, some of them are trickling on right now. Nick, any other information you have on some of the models that are coming up?
Only that there's a handful of them. We're probably going to release,
Pop in real quick.
I don't know, 4 or 5 of them over the course of the next
Wave.
couple weeks.
All right, there you go.
We have different series for different people. Like we'll have a series that's more for like our investors that want to do hotels and stuff like that. And then we have our designer. What is it? Our designer signature. What's it called?
Which one? The gallery?
Gallery. Excuse me. The gallery series, which is your traditional tiny house, but then most of which all have an option for a downstairs bedroom. They're going to have the loft and some of the cool add-ons. And then our studio series are all the big windows, downstairs bedrooms.
Maddie, say hi. Everybody's saying hi to you.
Hi, Maddie.
Let's just, the last question. I know
Don't pull my
I know it's been asked a couple times, but to Sam Bam again, what kind of foundation do I need for a tiny house?
All right,
just what they need for a tiny house.
Hey, Maddie, come on. What foundation do you need?
Mm-hmm.
What foundation do you need for a movable tiny home? Most of which, as long as whatever you're placing the unit on is compacted, for the most part, you're pretty good. Depends on the builder and trailer supplier and all of that stuff. All of ours come with stabilization jacks. I usually recommend, if they're parking on a dirt surface instead of a concrete pad or something, to put down some big pavers, so that way the jacks have a little bit more surface area to push down. The main thing is, the only thing you don't want to do is put it on grass or something really soft that's gonna cause the unit to sink or settle. So a concrete pad's gonna be the best thing. If you can't do that, some people just pour a footing around it. Others just use big concrete pavers. decomposed granite or base rock. All that stuff works really well.
Cool.
So yeah, any of that stuff you can put on there.
The last thing, well, two things. One, do either of us live in a tiny house full time? Not yet for me, but how do they find out about our next live streaming? Well, we'll probably announce it all over the place like we did this last one, but definitely announcing it on Instagram. There was a bunch of stuff we were going to cover today. It took way longer today to cover the tours than we thought it would with all the delays and the heat. So
Yeah.
we're definitely going to announce something. We're probably going to do something that is just in here the whole time, and we'll just go over some models. Maybe Nick and I can both have mics so you can hear us both much better. I don't even know if you guys can hear me right now.
Pre-record stuff.
But maybe record a couple video things when it's like, we should have shot all this stuff in the winter.
Yeah.
But
We'll
make sure we let you know.
We'll be doing more of these. Ever since everything kind of all the stuff that's been going on. I mean, we used to do big open house events and have hundreds of people come through, and even during the week, big groups all the time, which we absolutely love. We love seeing you guys. We love when clients can actually come in and touch and feel and spend some time in one of our products. But with everything going on, this is kind of the direction that we're headed. At least more updates, so that those of you that can't actually come down, or if we can't have you down, we can still broadcast while you sit on your couch.
Yeah, we've got a lot of, besides the models, which are kind of a big cool thing that's coming out. We've got a lot of other stuff that's going to start coming out really soon. In addition to some other houses that we're about to start that are awesome also.
DIY kits and shells and all sorts of stuff to give you a jump start on your build. If maybe the structure or something's not something you're comfortable with. All sorts of stuff. Tiny house products. If you bought a tiny house or you're building your own tiny house and you need to source products, we're going to help with that. So we've got a lot in the works.
All right, so that's it for today. I know we said 2, but it's been the last 3 hours have felt like about 10 with everything. So
Yeah.
we're gonna wrap up for now. You guys can always on YouTube, not through opening another app. You can go on the YouTube app and watch all this back from the beginning. I think for 24 hours, if you want to check out any parts that you wanted to double check or correct us on, because we probably made a lot of mistakes.
Are there any more questions?
And that's it for now with the questions. They're all just saying thanks. I live in my tiny house with 5 cats. That's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah.
We've
All
done
right.
a lot of cool tiny house cats.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for coming to our very first live thing that we've ever done. We're gonna try to make it work a lot of the bugs out for the next time.
It was fun.
It was
It
fun.
was hectic.
It was weird. Hectic for you.
Well, it was hectic
It was
for me,
hectic
yeah.
for me.
But
I think you disagree. Okay, guys. We'll see you next time. Thanks,
thanks, guys. Thank you so much for coming. Don't forget to follow us on YouTube, Instagram, all that social media stuff, and check out our website.
All right. Later, guys.
Woo! That was good.
Dude. So we've probably peaked at people watching at the livest moment. That was fun though. I really liked that a lot. Everybody had a lot of fun.